ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
3:01 in the big city in New York City on a Friday.
That's right.
With Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg with us as well, staying up late.
Oh, yeah.
I am Alan Hahn. How we doing, boys? By the way, Peter, how are you doing? Terrific spots this morning. Saw you on Get Up. Excellent stuff.
Oh.
Shocking to see Harry Douglas drop Joe Fortenbaugh like that on the set.
Yeah. I did not expect that. I got to tell you, I was not expecting that whatsoever. Didn't know Fortenbaugh could take a bump like that.
Pretty
but
impressive.
Thank you. I had a good time.
You're a little dressed differently for us, but I understand it's also
it's late.
Approaching midnight. It's midnight at the Oasis.
He's in his jam.
It's 11:00. It's 11:01 at the Oasis, and you know what? I feel bad. I may have to put something else on now.
No, you're good. We're just cash. We're just chill. I'm the only one that's overdressed, but I have a game tonight.
Yeah.
Donnie has to get on a plane because that's the way things go when you are a play-by-play guy. And you know how else it goes, Peter?
Huh?
When you know, and Don's been working a lot, calling a lot of games. Voice yesterday was a little iffy, so he had me lead. And it was a smart thing to do because load management during the show yesterday meant we could get this in overtime last night.
Mercer, he spins back behind his cage, and now the Devils possess for the first time.
Great read there by Mercer.
He's sure with a roll, a blast, and scores! The captain, Nico Hischier, in overtime. Put a pitchfork in this one. Devils win 3-2.
Come on.
That's Donnie overtime right there. That's what I call him. That's Donnie OT.
You know what I mean? Built for it.
Thanks to Dr. Max April, and we've all had those moments where he's telling me what to do. The Manuka honey, the Afrin, tea, and all the things to try to get the voice going. My concern getting on the flight, though, I'm not going to be able to travel with the Manuka honey. They'll take it away, right, Peter?
What size is it?
I don't know. What's
it's all about the size. It's all about the size.
It always is about the size, isn't it?
No, it's about the motion of the ocean.
I got the smallest Manuka honey they had, but I still think that's probably over the limit.
Well, hold on.
What is
How
the limit
are you
now?
Traveling?
He's got to go commercial.
I'm going commercial, and I'm not checking a bag. No, this is a one quick Ottawa in and out. So I'm not checking a bag.
We know nothing like a quick in and out in Ottawa.
Yeah.
All right, so you got 3.4 ounces. Right. Check the bottle.
Is it? I thought it was 5. I think you get up to 5. That's it.
Is it? I believe under TSA Rule 311.
Oh, look at you doing the work.
Liquids, gels, aerosols, and carry-on luggage must be in containers of 3.4 ounces or less.
Well, this is what I have. Let's show it here. Manuka honey, but that looks like it's going to be more than that.
What are they reading there?
I think with international travel, we should always aggressively guess.
Yeah, only way to do it.
No,
I think this is fine.
This is 8.8 ounces.
Okay, tell you what. Scoop some out, put it in a baggie.
That's
roll
it.
it up, throw it in your bag.
That won't look suspicious, right?
Not at all.
Former K-Show co-host now at border for foreign substance, as other K-Show co-host is in Saudi Arabia.
Now, real quick, can you imagine the Mushnick article about me being in Saudi Arabia, by the way? Now, real quick, you can't just scoop. You're at home right now. You can't just scoop a little of the Manuka into like a Tupperware. You don't need that much to bring.
No, just a little something.
Yeah, I'll find. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. That's what I'll do.
Why not? Worst case, they take it, and it's just a little bit.
I put AG1 powder in baggies. It's green powder. Roll it up in separate baggies for each day, and put it in my bag. And I always wonder, if that ever, if they ever check that out, what are they thinking? So,
and Alan's been known to put white powder in a balloon and then swallow it.
Whoa!
When I needed
Those
money. Listen,
no, that was
rough.
that was when he was a hockey beat writer, Don.
Right. I wasn't making enough money back then. I had to do something.
Right. No, listen.
Being a mule, it's all part of the deal.
But no, that was so. Yeah, thank you for the call. That was fun, and thanks to Dr. Max April or you playing the call, and so it was
good. You're feeling
good.
And I'm feeling good. because the Islanders get a sweep for the first time in regulation sweep of the season series over the Rangers. And it was that was not a fun game. It was a very boring game, not a great game, but the Islanders did enough to win. And in the end, that's all that matters. So you have that part of it. So people that want to talk hockey, we're here for you, 800-919-3776. Just quickly, though, because Gracie did ask me, is Jack Hughes going to be okay?
Well, it's getting one of those will be evaluated. Not even sure exactly the condition or even what the injury is. I know he left in the first period, came out, skated,
right,
played a shift, left again, and then didn't come back. I'm not with the team to know if he traveled to Ottawa.
Gotcha.
So I would suspect if he didn't play the entire game and they're playing Saturday, that, obviously you err on the side of caution. But, he's a gamer. He's going to want to go. But his game is all predicated on speed. And if there's any issues there, is it worth having him irritated even more?
Okay.
So, listen, they're in a lot of trouble. They had to win that game last night, and they did. To keep pace with the Islanders. They're 7 points back of the Islanders. They play the Islanders coming up next Thursday, and that's going to be a must-win in regulation to try to gain some ground. That's what I'm telling you. There's so many great stories in the regular season here that's going to hit pause after that game on Thursday for 3 weeks with the Olympics.
Right.
And like I said yesterday when we did that guy, I don't care about Jack Hughes' availability for the Olympics. I want to know what his availability is for these next 3 games before the Olympics.
I get
because
it.
these games are so vitally important. It's amazing what's happened in hockey to where the regular season became so meaningful. Now, for a lot of teams, they're really good or really bad, it's not. But for 75% of the league, every game is so vitally important, and for the Devils especially. So you want to make sure that he's okay. So Olympics be damned. Not for him. I'm sure it's important to him, and it's important to Team USA. But for a Devils perspective, you want to know he's available for these 3 games, right?
I'm ready for the break.
Yeah.
Well,
and meanwhile, the Ranger fan can't wait to get to the break.
Well, it's such a tough spot to be in, right, for Anthony or any Ranger fan. Not that there was a ton of expectations going into the season, but the feeling was, hey, you got a world-class goaltender, you got Panarin, you got Fox. You might have enough to at least be in contention, and now you're punting, and it's not even February,
right?
And really now with Panarin not playing, and then who else is going to get dealt? It's for the diehards that watch every game. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. That's the worst part of it is when you're this still relatively early in the season, and that's all you got is it's going to be kindergarten for the rest of the year watching the young kids play and hoping they can figure it out.
But Schaefer's, how many goals is it now? Because
I think it's 15.
That's more than Orr had in his rookie year. The record
teenager
belongs to Phil Housley, the guy you didn't think was in the top 5 American-born players. He's got the rookie record for goals,
right?
By a defenseman,
right?
And he should obliterate that the way he's playing.
Yes, and hopefully he'll also have more than one All-Star appearance like Phil Housley. That'd be nice.
Oh, you know what? Touche.
Let's not.
All right, you know what? Touche.
There you go.
But you know what, though?
Phil Housley again.
Where I wanted to begin, though, today, boys, because both of you missed this moment, and I said this in our call before the show. If Anthony Pusick was a writer, what he did at the end of ENN last night probably would win a Pulitzer.
Oh, okay.
Because of the way that he formulated a story that when he was done presenting it, my mind was blown. We were like, whoa. They were throwing flowers at him in the YouTube chat. And you know how tough it is to get any type of compliments out of those guys. So let's just, begin. This is about the Jets, but I want to begin with one area that had been reported of embarrassment. Well, maybe we could take this one off the table at least. The idea that the Jets called John Gruden and to see if he wanted to be the offensive coordinator under Aaron Glenn. Here's Gruden. This is on WDAE, and this is about the reports that the Jets had reached out to him.
Well, there's a lot of reports we're not going to get into. As you know, there's a lot of stupid rumors out there. Some of these reports are ridiculous. Let's just say that there was never anything from the Jets, and I wish them well in their search for a new offensive coordinator.
Okay.
So you heard it from the horse's mouth. They didn't even call him, and he has no reason to pretend that they didn't.
I kind of disagree with.
Why would you say that?
Because he's got a lawsuit with the NFL.
All right.
and it probably behooves him to make it feel like I am not pursuing work. I'm focusing on this lawsuit against the NFL.
But he could do that, Don. If he said, yeah, they called, but I'm not interested in a job right now.
Oh, that's probably what happened. That's probably what happened. But it also can behoove him to say, hey, listen, I'm not even taking any call. I'm shutting any of this down. I'm focused on this because there's a lot of people reporting that he will not take a job until this lawsuit is heard. And if that's the case, then he might not want to make it seem like there have been any conversations with anybody. It's probably true. I don't think he's lying, but I just wanted to at least push back on the fact that there could be motivation to kill this because of the lawsuit.
Okay. All right. You
agree with that, Peter, or no?
You feeling the same way, Peter?
I when I first heard it, my initial thought was, well, why would he say that? But no, Don, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
I think that makes sense. I mean, listen, I don't think it's the most troubling thing we've heard about the Jets in the last day. Let me say that.
Well,
okay. No.
But wait, there's more.
Okay, there's more. But
So,
wait, there's more.
Oh, yeah. No, there's more. So, all right, Anthony, I'm going to follow this down the line, right? This is how you set it up for me because you are the writer here.
Yeah.
So here's Connor Hughes. He was on Bart and Carlin and talking about, again, Aaron Glenn, Wink Martindale. Everybody believed that Wink Martindale was the leader for the job at defensive coordinator. As we know now, Brian Duker got the job, a 36-year-old who was a passing game coordinator and secondary coach for the Miami Dolphins, who worked with Aaron Glenn with Detroit from 2021 to 2023. So there's familiarity there. But he's inexperienced. So Wink is there. Everybody thought he was getting the job. So what happened, Connor Hughes?
The conversations between the Jets, specifically Aaron Glenn and Martindale, date back to December. It was shortly after they let go of Steve Wilkes. There were informal conversations, and just talking about a potential partnership, and the interest was immediate, and it just grew and it grew and it grew to the point where, gosh, I want to say shortly after the season ended, I remember getting calls from people who were going to be on Wink Martindale's staff basically saying, like, hey, this is the done deal. Like, they've got to go through the interview process, satisfy the Rooney Rule and stuff, but we're going to get this job. Like, it's going to be Wink Martindale. And when he was flying in Saturday before this snowstorm to have that in-person interview, it was believed that was just a formality. It was I-dotting, T-crossing. Here's where the cafeteria is. Here's where your office is. These are some good restaurants in the area. Now let's get to work.
So that's how close it got. Now, let's hit pause on that story for a moment.
Okay.
And let's go to Tennessee, where the former head coach, Robert Saleh, had a press conference introduced as the new head coach of the Titans. And he made reference to his days with the Jets, saying, I wasn't the play caller on defense, and that was a mistake.
I didn't call plays in New York, and I just kind of gave it all to the coordinators. Even though we were still part of the game planning and all that, I joke with Borgo on game day when I didn't call plays, I felt like I was just a timeout and red flag guy. I had the greatest seat in the house as a fan, So calling plays for me, it's not necessarily about control, but it's about connecting with the players.
So he's going to be the defensive play caller as the head coach in Tennessee because he said he wished he did it in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So go back to Connor Hughes now with Bart and Carlin.
Back to New York.
And now here's him talking about history repeating itself with Glenn and Wink Martindale.
Here's what I can tell you is that when Robert Saleh was the Jets head coach his first year and things went really, really south, like for Robert early on, like that first year, there was a push from those above to have Robert call the defense in year two. And they wanted Robert Saleh to call the defense in year two. Robert fended it off, said, no, I trust Brick. Just let me get my guys in here. Let's get some players and you'll see it turn around. And it did turn around. There was a push from above back then. I don't know if history repeated itself or anything like that, but it's certainly an organization that hasn't been opposed to having their head coach call plays for them.
There was a push from above. So when you wonder what happened between Aaron Glenn and Wink Martindale that went from showing him where his office is and him hiring or telling coaches who's going to be on his coaching staff to suddenly not getting the job, Brian Duker getting the job with no experience, and Aaron Glenn saying, I want to call the plays. Do we see what's happening here? Is Aaron Glenn really in charge?
Well, it's what I've been saying from the very beginning, that there's a facade out there. There is some kind of, bunny out of a hat. Listen, this is the guy that's in charge, but he's really not in charge. And they probably knew Wink wasn't going to take the job.
We know he wouldn't take the job if he wasn't the play caller.
No way.
We know that about
No
Wink,
way.
right?
But
Right.
they wanted to get him into the building. And then they probably had Glenn be the bad guy and say, listen, I'm going to be calling the plays. But how rotten is that? That you drop that on him during a formality meeting? Like you heard Connor say,
Yep.
oh, this is going to be here where the restaurants are. Here's where your parking space is going to be. Here's where your office is. Oh, by the way, you're not going to be calling plays.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing damn well he wouldn't even have made the trip to New York if he found out that was going to be the case. So what are you doing?
But is this Glenn that wanted that? Because Saleh didn't want it, and after the first year was told from those from above that he should be calling the plays, not Ulbrich. And Saleh resisted. Okay, fine.
I love Brick.
So next time around, now you have a rookie head coach.
Right.
And after the first year, defense a disaster. Did those from above say to Glenn, okay, you're going to hire this guy? We think you should be calling the plays. And instead of pushing back, Glenn agreed. Okay, if that's what you think. Saleh said no. Because, again, if you're Woody, that's your example. Well, Saleh said no. How'd it work out for him? We think you should do this. I don't know if it's Woody or anybody else from above. Point is that Saleh telling that story and then Hughes also letting you know that's what happened. Like, this feels like that's why they have an inexperienced guy as a defensive coordinator. I don't know how this is going to work, but it's amazing to think that Aaron Glenn really is not in charge here.
No.
That's what it's telling us.
I never thought it for a second. But now the other thing that comes into play here, what is the motivation to have Glenn call plays?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you real quick. Real quick, though. So what does that mean then, Don? So explain to me then what the logic would be to not only have Glenn call plays, but to bring in someone who you know is coming with the express purpose of calling plays.
Right.
To then tell them after they're getting fitted for their uniform, getting their hat size ready, by the way, you're not calling plays.
Right.
I mean, it would be like me getting hired for this job, and I show up and Winthrop goes, no, by the way, you like to produce, right? We don't have an on-air position for you. So I just don't understand.
But it's just so ass backwards, right? Like, even with Robert Saleh. Like, why do you want him to call the play? Why do you want a neophyte coach who's never done it before? And in both Saleh's case and Glenn's case, completely in over their head in the first year. But let's throw more work on top of him and take it away from the more experienced guy. Because you could make the case that Wink Martindale is a better defensive coordinator than Aaron Glenn was.
Well, he's more experienced.
More experienced.
More heralded for sure.
So... Or is this just, again, we want him to have all the responsibility so that he can end up being the one that's left holding the bag when this whole thing blows up?
Now, I remember Rex Ryan, who did call the plays when he first got here, relinquishing it because he said it was too much to focus on that side of the ball and stay connected to the offense and everything you needed to be connected with. He said it was just too much for a head coach to be that dialed in on one side of the ball when you need to really know what's going on everywhere. He said it was so much else you have to do as a head coach when it comes to scheduling, organization, practice times, what players need, media availabilities, all the things that you have to do as a head coach and game plan defensively and call plays during a game. He said that was too much. So I wonder if even all the way back then they were saying, no, you should do it this way. It's very bizarre. Once again, your football people are not in charge of this organization. Because why would Glenn waste that time? Why would Glenn waste Wink Martindale's time if he knew damn well he wasn't going to be calling?
Honestly, if you want to have a conversation and have your head not hurt, let's not try to figure out why the brain trust with the Jets do what they do. All right? What was their motivation to have Glenn call plays? Why do they want the head coach to be the play caller on defense? Because they don't know what the hell they're doing, okay? But let's not focus on that because we already know that. But the main crux of the story is that he does not have the power that they claim he has. And I said it from the beginning, and I doubled down on it when 9 of his assistants were let go.
Yeah.
And then guys that are coming in, Frank Reich, who could take his job as head coach, right? Let's bring in if it turns out not to be true, apparently, but like John Gruden, John Gruden would be hunting for his job.
Oh yeah,
John Gruden wants to be head coach in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But it sends out a message, right? Because this is the whole thing. The Jets want Glenn to be in charge. I guess that's the ultimate motivation from the very beginning is he's the alpha male. He's in charge. He's calling plays. He's hiring and firing assistant coaches. That's the message they want to send out. But you're hearing that it's not really him. I'm sure he's got a say, but there's no way he fired all 9 of these coaches. And there's no way that, he's the one not telling Wink Martindale, I'm going to be calling the plays until the last second. And also, Wink didn't ask Peter.
Yeah, that too.
By the way, I had a problem in New York last time I was there with my head coach and I butting heads to the point where I ended up losing my job. I want to know if I'm going to take this job, I want to know, am I calling plays? Am I not calling plays? Wouldn't that be the first thing you would ask?
You would assume it,
unless you just think it's a complete given. Because why else would they be bringing me here?
Well,
never do that with this organization or any other, right? We'll work it out when I get there. Let me sign the contract, and then how many vacation days? Oh, listen, just sign the dotted line. We'll work it out after.
Don't you both believe that they also discuss strategy at least in roster? Like if you're hiring somebody to run a defense, don't you think the coach is probably going to discuss strategy in roster? Here's what I would do with what you've got. Here's how I would do it. And if Glenn got to the point where he was very close to hiring him, don't you think Glenn was like, I agree with all that. I like it. Well, and then somehow, some way, I mean, my conspiracy theory is just before everything was done, somebody got to him and said, I don't think it's a good idea to bring him in. I think you should be calling the plays.
Well, now you hit on something. And who would that one person? Who would be the guy that would parachute in and fat hands the whole thing?
No idea. The guy who wrote the check. The guy who was going to sign the contract, the check.
Right. So, yeah, Wink, you'll call plays because our head coach can't possibly do both. He's lucky he's got a job, right? He was in over his head his first year, but we believe in him. We think it's going to turn it around. But we're bringing you in. You got a ton of experience. You can call plays. You're our guy. All right? We'll have the contract ready for you. Swing by. I'll introduce you to Woody. Introduce him to Woody, and Woody's like, by the way, I want my head coach to call plays. Tell me that's not what happened. Tell me that's not Woody. Oh, by the way, I want my head coach to call plays. And everybody all of a sudden face palms like, oh, yep. God.
That's why we played it.
Why did Woody come in today?
Right. I should have called in sick. That's why we played it in the order we played it. So you could see the chronology of it and then get that last one. The Saleh revelation in his press conference that coincides with what Connor Hughes says about what happened after the first year. And now it shows you that just is clearly something organizationally they would prefer. And I don't know about you guys. When I heard it yesterday, my mind was blown. I was like, you got to be kidding me. This isn't Glenn. This is not – like, we all want to – Glenn is over his head. He's firing all his coaches. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's a terrible coach. Or is he in a situation that even he's like, I can't wait till they fire me and so I can get out of here.
Well, especially if the contract is what it is. You got 4 years left on it, big money. It probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have happened to him because it's going to happen eventually. But this is the Woody Johnson we know. Irrational, always having to feel like he's the alpha male, he's the guy in charge. So it doesn't even really matter his logic on why he wants his head coach to call the plays, but it's the way he wants it, and that's the way it's going to be.
Yep.
So, jump, and I'll, it's how high. I'm the guy, and I don't have to tell you logic. For whatever reason, he's got this thought in his head. He wants his head coach to call the plays, and he's not going to be changed.
Don, remember the fun idea that Aaron Glenn was the one who decided I don't need Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
and you and I right away was like, okay, he's going to show up and say he doesn't want one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He wants to ride with whatever else they can find. Okay,
there you go.
Because they actually, the logic behind the whole Aaron Glenn facade is what we talked about, that they need to find another face for this franchise. And they said, why not Aaron Glenn? He's a former Jet. He's got blood in the ground. He'll be our guy. He'll talk tough. He knows Bill Parcells. That was, I guess, the effort that they wanted to send out there. But instead of giving him the power, they just pretended they gave him the power.
Mm-hmm.
At least
now we're starting to figure it out. All right, how do we feel about all this? 800-919-3776. We'll get into the calls here on a Friday. The latest on, of course, the Giannis rumors. Giannis Watch 2026. Until you throw up, everybody, we're going to have to talk about it and keep an eye on it. But there was another name, another interesting name that could be available, that if you're a Knicks fan and I say this name, you're going to go, wait, he's available? No, I want him. We'll tell you who that is. It's Fraud Alert Friday, so we got that going on a little later on in the show. Your call's certainly a big part of it. Peter with us for the first part of the show, putting in extra work late at night in Riyadh.
Got you.
Don Hahn and Rosenberg, we continue on ESPN New York.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $189 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM844-681, MSRP $29,075. Zero security deposit, ends 2/2/26.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. Good afternoon and happy Friday, but not a happy ride over in the Bronx. Northbound Hutch shut down by Westchester Avenue. Tractor-trailer snuck on the roadway and overturned. All lanes out. You're stopped there from the Whitestone Bridge. But first, you got to get there. We've got an issue on the Whitestone Expressway northbound in Queens. Accident involving a car that hit a snowbank. 2 lanes out by 20th Avenue. Jammed there and backed up onto the Van Wyck. Better off sticking with the Clearview and the Throgs Neck Bridge over to 95. Heading over to the outbound George, best of it, Henry Hudson. All of your other approaches are packed. Inbound George, no issues for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln already about 20 to 30. Outbound Holland already 45 plus. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player in the big game to score the first touchdown, but his teammate scores instead. With BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the big game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line with BetMGM's Second Chance. Try a first TD scorer wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan, we are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
So did you see the terrible news?
Yes, I'm
devastated. Go ahead, Don.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
Passed away at the age of 71. I mean, she's an icon, man, like Home Alone, so that checks every box.
Every box.
You know, I was a big fan of Schitt's Creek. I was a big fan of Best in Show. I was a big fan, like all those movies that she was just a monster, like an icon of icons.
71 is extremely young.
Because...
And we just saw, like, she was just, I mean, I remember the last 2 holidays she did commercials with Kevin Hart, where she redid the whole Kevin thing.
Yes.
So it was, she looked very, she looked very healthy, very, like there was nothing that would make you think. But apparently she was rushed to the hospital, and she was.
Yeah, there was some sort of emergency in her home. They're saying.
Yeah. It's terrible.
It's just terrible, man. Because she's like. Some people will only know her, of course, Don, from Home Alone, and younger people, that is, and then like all the Christopher Guest movies, so many different things. She's I mean, so funny, such a good actor. So she's just awesome. Terrible.
And obviously 71 is so young, and still maybe so much work still on the table for her. I would not be surprised if there were projects in the works for her, if this was something that was unforeseen. Like, I don't know if she was sick. Or
I guarantee it.
Yeah. If this was something that was out of the blue, there's scripts on her dining room table that she's looking at that she was going to be in and probably be fantastic in. So when I saw this, I was definitely taken aback. She was tremendous.
Yeah, that's definitely a sad one. When you see, again, especially, Don, you and I, where we are in our lives, when you see 71, you're like, no.
Oh, you're doing the math. You're like,
way too soon. But right on time for us.
71 for someone who's been also, sorry, Alan, someone who's been, well-to-do for so long. That's always like surprising. That this is someone who's been successful and able to take care of herself. For what's she been famous for, guys? 40 years?
Oh, easy.
Something like that. I mean, it's,
Beetlejuice.
So it's just
all the way back to that.
That's
super
a good one
shocking.
Too. Was that 88?
Yeah, that's definitely mid 80s.
Like
so
40 years. All right, does this look like it could work?
I like that. What do you think, Peter?
Peter, you think that'll pass TSA?
Pass the mustard? I think it does.
It looks like a urine sample on YouTube.
It looks like a urine sample, but it's very clearly honey when you show it to them. And then, worst case scenario, Nancy yells at you for losing a Tupperware.
Yep, that's all.
Look at this. This is a tiny Tupperware.
Come on, you could live without that. But it'd be great if somebody pulls it. If they take it out of your bag and say, "What is this?" and then you tell them, and they're like, "Taste it." It would be funny if you're like, "No, you taste it."
And listen, if that's a urine sample, you need further examination, right?
Help.
You need an exam.
But
take that to the lab, please.
Yeah, I peed gelatin. 800-919-3776. Let's begin with John in Florham Park. Hey, John.
Hey, right there.
Hey, guys. How
At
you
ground
doing
zero.
today?
Yes. How you doing, John?
Thanks for taking my call. I've got another conspiracy theory for you
I love him.
with Aaron Glenn. I think, like most players, they're putting him in a prove-it year. They've given him that responsibility, and if he doesn't, do well, they'll let him go. I think Woody Johnson might have lost, and the powers that be really might have lost faith in Aaron Glenn. Nobody's going to say that, but they're putting him in a prove-it year. They're saying to him, okay, we'll call the plays, and if that defense doesn't get, isn't in the top 10, 12, 15, whatever, as far as being 31st or 32nd,
See, to me,
we
I
can't
get what you're
fire
saying.
You lost your job.
John, I'll tell you what, Don, you're probably reading the same way I am. If they didn't have faith in him, you would want Wink Martindale. You would want Frank Reich and have them coach despite Aaron Glenn. Not ask him to do more.
The one place I will not ever go with Woody Johnson is that he doesn't want to win.
I agree. I agree.
And how does that help winning? To basically sabotage your head coach so you have a reason to fire him. You're the owner. You can fire him for any reason.
Mm-hmm.
Another 3-win season, guess what? You're going to get fired after 2 years. Nobody's going to question that. You bring in Wink Martindale because you think he's an excellent defensive coordinator. Why would you strip him of his responsibilities to call plays and dump it on the neophyte head coach that almost got laughed out of town in his first year? The conspiracy is I don't want to win, and I will never say that. I will always get on Woody Johnson for his decision-making, that he doesn't know anything about football, that he's a bad owner. But the one thing I'll never say is that he doesn't want to win. He just doesn't know how to do it. But he does want to win, guys.
Yeah,
he does.
I completely agree. I like conspiracy theories, though, and Woj
I love 'em.
Clifton has one. Go ahead, Woj, you're next.
Hey, guys. Huge fan of the show. Thanks for taking the call. So I have the ultimate conspiracy theory here for you. So we all know that there are currently 2 New York NFL franchises. And I think Ambassador Johnson is just running this thing to the ground with the ultimate position to essentially move the franchise overseas and to have the first NFL franchise in the UK. What do you think?
All right, so that's the major league theory, right? Where
Everybody
the
thought
owner's
Shad Khan
trying
was
to
doing it,
tank
too.
it so that she can move the team to Miami.
That is literally the major league theory.
That is.
There is no rumor whatsoever that he would want there's any team moving to England anytime soon. And I think we all know if there was a team to move, it'd be Jacksonville.
Right.
Because they play in England every single year.
They're always there. Yeah.
It's like part of their
That's
home
Shad
schedule.
Khan's thing. Yeah. Those are home games for them.
I dig it. I dig conspiracy theories, man. But you know what? You're doing it to the wrong fan base. They're too loyal.
So what are you saying? Is this a 2 out of 10 on the conspiracy theory meter?
Yes,
That's a 2.
There's
or a 1.
Well, the reason I'll go 2 is because, again, don't try to figure out the logic of Woody Johnson. But I don't.
That's
think
Ambassador Johnson.
I don't think the NFL has any appetite of moving a New
Ambassador
York
Johnson?
team to the UK. Okay?
All right, well,
no shot.
Let's try now Omar in East Brunswick. What are you bringing to the table today,
What do you
Omar?
got?
Hey, first of all, I listen to you guys every day, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Peter, I hope you're doing great in Saudi. Hope they're treating you well. So honestly, I also think that we're overthinking a little bit. I mean, this is the same guy who said thinking is overrated. So to be honest, I don't really know if he knows what's going on or if he just kind of. It seems like he just acts off emotion a lot and off maybe what his son says or whatever. I mean, we heard the story that they took off the Matter ratings to go off the draft. So
right.
with this team, you never know, and it makes me so sad that I root for such a dysfunctional franchise. I mean, the only thing to look forward to this season was the $2 Big Mac deal after they would get a sack.
Omar,
that's about it.
Omar, I don't like to use this word around the kids because I don't want them to use it because it's not a word that ages well, and it's not a word that you like to throw around. But stupid applies to the Jets.
Wow.
I'm sorry. So anything is on the table for the logic. That's why I said earlier, let's not get into their logic because God knows what Woody's thinking. So your brain will hurt from the different angles that they're coming from. But no, when I say the Jets, and when I say the Jets, I say Woody Johnson, just does not know how to run a football team. He doesn't. He's a good guy, and he wants to win, but I can't understand his logic, guys, because we're not working on the same. I guess the way to say it without being insulted, we're not working on the same brainwaves, okay?
Right.
He's thinking it a different way than most people are.
Wisdom has chased him, but he's always been faster. That's the best thing you can say about Woody Johnson when it comes to football, at least.
Intelligence has eluded him, or he's eluded intelligence.
Mike on Long Island has another conspiracy theory.
Love these.
Let's bring him. It's Conspiracy Theory Friday. I love it,
I didn't
Mike.
know we were going here, but this was
Why
worth
not?
it.
We gotta play the Rodgers music at some point. Go ahead, Mike.
I love it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I love it. So this is what's happening here. So Mike T is still mad that he got fired by the Jets. So he hired Aaron Glenn to sabotage him, get back at you, because he knew Aaron Glenn was a bad coach, and we clearly see it.
Mike Tannenbaum is a saboteur.
A saboteur.
God, you know what? This has been the best one.
I like this
that we've
one.
had. I love this one.
Is Tannenbaum that petty that he would risk the 33rd team's reputation just so he could just twist the knife?
He's too good a guy.
It doesn't seem Mike T. It doesn't seem Mike T.
If
it was anybody else.
Parcells is involved in this too, though. So there's that. No, I don't know. Because you could also say, how much does Parcells hate the Jets? I don't know. It's fun. I like it. If I knew less, I'd love to dive into this a little deeper. But we all know too much to know that it's not really accurate.
I know, but there's got that one's interesting. Just that Mike Tannenbaum is just too good a guy.
He is too good a guy.
He's not going to do that.
Too reputable.
But now I think what we've done is I think we've opened the doors to a challenge. It's now just coming up with who can come up with the most inventive conspiracy theory.
The most believable, but yet it's a conspiracy theory. How creative
it's
can
not
we be
true,
today?
but it would make sense.
Let me ask you something though. I'm going to ask you something when we come back. I think it's
in my mind's eye.
I think it's tease worthy, Susan.
Okay.
So when we come back, I will ask you the question when we get back. If that's
Don
okay, Mr. Hahn.
asks the question. What is the question? Find out next. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This Saturday on The Gary Myers Show, new Giants head coach John Harbaugh joins the show at 1 p.m. to talk about how he's going to turn around Big Blue. Gary will also preview Super Bowl 60 with Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. It's all this Saturday at noon with Gary Myers on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
Not all F words are bad. Some are actually great, like fast, free fiber for 4 months. Yep, switch to Optimum Fiber for as low as $25 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get 4 months free, HBO Max included for 1 year, and a 5-year price lock. Don't wait, this free fiber deal won't last long, and the fastest, most reliable, most consistent internet speeds await you. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/free today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
You remember what it feels like to move without thinking about pain? To get up, sit up, walk, work, or live without that constant ache? If neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica took that away from you, it's time to get it back. I'm Bart Scott. Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain is the guy you need. Ivy League trained, double board certified, no surgery, no scars, no long recovery, just precise, image-guided, non-surgical treatments designed to get you feeling strong again. With offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, and most major insurances are accepted, there is no reason to wait. Go to SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think.
When it comes to meat and seafood, selection matters, and no one beats Wild Fork Foods. To everyday essentials, to high-quality steaks, to seafood and more, every product is blast frozen to lock in peak flavor and freshness, so you get restaurant-quality meats at home for amazing prices. Shop in person at 7 locations across Long Island and New Jersey, or you can order online for same-day delivery. It's easy, it's convenient, and the prices are wild. WildForkFoods.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
From 30 for 30 Podcasts.
Did you say someone got shot?
Brian Pata, senior defensive lineman from Miami, gunned down.
The key to this case, it's Brian.
An hour before he died, he was on the phone arguing with somebody.
This might be a hit.
You want the truth. They just want a conviction.
Being placed under arrest. We had a killer amongst us.
Murder at the U, coming soon.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
NBA fans don't just watch the game, they live it. So stream like you're courtside with NBA League Pass, your ticket to all the action. Watch your favorite team shine and catch the league's brightest stars and rising stars at the same time with multi-view on your favorite devices. From the plays you can't believe to the most live games and the drama that comes with it. If it happens on the court, it's happening on NBA League Pass.
Only select out-of-market games available. Blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $189 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM844681, MSRP $29,075. Zero security deposit ends 2/2/26.
Good.
All right. You think about all the great conspiracy theories in the world, right?
Yes.
And, of course, the biggest one is who shot JFK, right? Big conspiracy theorists all over. When you've ever been, I'm sure you have, gone to Dallas, to the book depository. They're literally stands where people are giving you their thoughts on what really happened, right? You have conspiracy theories about 9/11. You got conspiracy theories about COVID. What does it take to make a conspiracy theory work?
One that people will buy into?
That people will buy into. There's two key elements that is needed for a conspiracy theory to work.
I think there has to be the ability to connect dots enough to make it feel plausible. You know what I mean? Like, let's put it this way. if Woody Johnson, let's say, had an ownership stake or some type of property in the UK or an ownership stake in one of the big soccer teams, right? Something where he was there all the time, like it was a big thing. Then the idea of, like, that's why Shad Khan gets so much about Jacksonville, because he has a lot of interest over there.
Well, we all know that obviously you need the motivation, right? Well, but the two major factors to me are everyone's got to keep quiet, right? No one can leak. There could be 0 leaks. The Jets leak water it's ridiculous, like a sieve. Nobody can keep their mouth shut.
It's so
true.
5
seconds after they formulated the conspiracy, somebody would run the counter use and say, guess what we're trying to do?
It's so true.
We're trying to move the team to Ireland. And the other thing, to put all this together is extreme intelligence. The Jets have neither of these things, the smarts or the way to clamp things down. So really any conspiracy theory is blown up the second you say conspiracy theory, because they don't have the two skill sets necessary to make it work.
Can I say something else, though, about this whole thing?
Please.
What's beautiful about this theory is if you're a Jets fan and they move to Europe, wouldn't that be like amazing news? You have an out.
Yeah,
you're free.
Wait,
that's
Don.
it. Like,
wait. Let's bookmark this
Fraud
for
Friday?
Fraud Alert Friday. We might need to. Need to have like an open forum and see if the judge can let us know if this happens. Am I out and allowed to now move on to another team without being accused of fraud?
I want to rule on this. I'm looking forward to 4:30.
4:30.
Yeah, 4:30.
Stay
Absolutely.
tuned.
Can't wait.
Stay tuned for that. 800-919-3776. On that note, Eric in Middletown. It ain't easy being green, Eric, is it?
Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
First time, long time. Hey, listen, I'm talking to a friend of mine. Like, listen, this team, like, they're lucky that you have a chemical in your brain that will not allow you to not be a fan. You can say you want to root for this, you want to root for the other team. It just doesn't hit the same. Everybody knows that's a fan. It doesn't hit the same. When the Jets won in 2010, I was jumping through the ceiling, excited.
Right.
You can't recreate that with another
right.
team. So again, they're so lucky because probably half the fan base would have been out within the last couple of years. Been done and had gone to another team. Like, who goes to a stadium with a bag over their head to watch a team play? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it just goes back to they're very lucky that this is the way it is, a chemical in your brain that will not allow you to switch teams because they would be so screwed.
So well said, Eric. Well said.
I have an answer to it, but I don't want to give away my ruling for 4:30.
Okay. Well,
but
can
I
say something?
I appreciate Eric's call because I think I'm going to use some of that in my ruling.
Oh, I like it. And here's what I want to add to what Eric said, because it was very well said. It's true. But I'll also say this, because it's like that when you have a bad owner who just can't get out of his own way, it makes mistakes and doesn't realize that the problem's in the mirror. A lot of times it's what have people said, just stop rooting for him. Just walk away. Why do you bother? And that's when I say no. Exactly what Eric said. No, I'm 10 toes down, man. I was here before you. I lived through worse than this. I'll live through even more. The fact that I'm supposed to quit because you suck? No. I'm waiting you out.
Yeah, but
because eventually you're going to have to sell this thing.
True.
And I'll be rid of you. But you're not going to get rid of me because you suck at your job. No.
Right.
I'm all in.
But what are you winning by being 10 toes down? How does that make you feel better? How does that make you a better person?
Because I know that I'm the one that's committed. I have to be committed to this. That's what. Well, I probably already have been committed.
Right.
But the whole idea is to me, you are temporary. That's the thing. The fan is not temporary. Fan's here, start to finish. Bad ownership, bad GM, bad coach, bad players, whatever it is. All those guys. I've always said this about certain players that have attitude. You can't stand them, you hate them, and it's always like, can't wait till you're a former Jet or whatever it is. The whole idea is like, I was here before you, I'll be here when you're gone. Like, I'll wait you out. Doesn't matter. But I'm not the one that's going to quit this. I'm not the one that's going to walk away because my dream remains. Like Anthony asked me, because the morning show was talking about the idea of the Jets winning the Super Bowl and how they'd pull an all-nighter big party. They wouldn't even have to show up for their show, that kind of stuff. So Anthony sent me a text, and he's like, what would you do? Would you pull an all-nighter and not show up in time for the show if the Jets won the Super Bowl? And I said, no, I'll probably be dead, so it won't matter. But that's the idea, is like, I will take this to my grave, that maybe, just maybe, before I take my last breath, I'll actually see the one miracle in my life I don't think I've ever going to see with my own eyes.
It's
such a crazy thing too. The football dreams of a fan who hasn't experienced it either ever, in Allen's case, essentially. No, Allen, ever?
No, I was not born when they won the Super Bowl.
You were not born?
No,
yeah,
I was not.
You weren't born. You missed it by a few years.
Yeah.
And this is the difference that, like, and I know the nice thing about Don is, like, Don is a fan who appreciates this and will, like, say, I have the last Super Bowl on my DVR, you know, and in spite of the fact that kids think that's a long time, whenever Don says that, it's a reminder it was not a long time. Yeah. I kid you not, Alan. Last year when my baby was born, the week between Commander playoff games, and then they won another game, I wasn't joking when people asked me, like, how I was doing. And I was like, well, A, I always dreamed of having a child. And B, my team is in the championship game. I wasn't joking about them being, like, somewhat close. Like, I'm not saying right next to each other, but it was a very real thing that it happened at the same time. What it meant in my heart and soul. Yeah. If you don't root for a team that has sucked for at least like 3 decades, you don't get it. It's a different kind of animal.
Yeah, it is. And 98 was the one that I felt the most, because that team felt like it was going, especially with the lead that they had in the championship game. It wasn't a big lead, but they had it. And that, that's the moment that really stays with you, when you realize that fell short.
Do you remember their playoff path in 98? Either of you?
No.
Well, that was it. It was they had the bye. They beat Jacksonville, and then they lost to Denver.
It was Denver, and they were up at the half.
Jacksonville, Denver.
Right.
Yeah. And they were up at the half, but it wasn't a big lead.
10-0 at the half, was it?
And was it Keith Byers who fumbled? Somebody fumbled, and it just the whole game turned at that point. But
I thought the big moment wasn't it the opening kickoff of the third quarter where Meggett just didn't pick it, he didn't touch it.
Yes.
And then Denver recovered.
Yes.
And then there was a big fumble later on in the game.
Yeah, but
Denver ended up, winning. What was the final score? But it was
a low score game.
But they won by a couple of scores, Denver. I don't think it was that close. So was it like 24-10, 20-10?
The last score I remember was 10-7. That's the last I remember. But
it was 23-10.
Yeah. So I knew they didn't score again.
Yeah.
And what was the lead in Indianapolis?
I couldn't tell you that.
I think they had an 11-point lead, if I'm not mistaken, against Indianapolis. I was there. I think I'd remember.
That's the thing with me and the Jet games like that, is I don't remember that kind of detail for some reason, because it all feels
especially
so
not
surreal.
in a loss.
But it feels surreal. You know what I mean?
Jets were up 17-13 at the half against the Colts.
Right, but
then they were blanked in the second half, and it was 37.
And they couldn't run the ball, if I'm not mistaken. Or didn't run the ball.
But I think they might have had as much as an 11-point lead in that first half. It might have been 17-13 at the half.
It was 13-6. It was 14. It was 17-6.
Right, so I was right. They had 11.
It was 17-6.
Yeah. Well, we've got more conspiracy theories, because suddenly it's become Conspiracy Theory Friday. Since it's not a football Friday, we have another week for that. So we'll have more fun with your conspiracy theories, talking Jets. And why not also, as we talk about coaching staffs, John Harbaugh. He still doesn't have an offensive coordinator. Should we be concerned about that? We'll get into that next. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN, New York.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
ESPN New York, now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
ZipRecruiter. Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
All right, 402 in the big city with Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg. I'm Alan Hahn. We're having conspiracy theories today because it's just fun. Somehow, some way we got to this. Probably talking Jets. Of course it was talking Jets. And we'll continue to talk Jets with you and other conspiracy theories at 800-919-3776. Before we get back to the calls, though,
yes,
on the Giants side of things, with Todd Monken getting the Browns job, now the Giants are still looking for it because everybody thought he was coming along with Harbaugh as the offensive coordinator, but he somehow, some way got the job in Cleveland. And by the way, before we even go dive deeper, here is him having this interesting exchange, speaking of conspiracy theories, with Shedeur Sanders when he got the job. Listen.
Oh, young man. What's up? Good to see you, bro. How you doing? Welcome back to the States.
How we doing, man?
Good.
Yeah, we tried to draft your ass last year. It's all worked out.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to tell you.
Someday we'll get a chance to talk about that.
Yeah.
Someday we'll get a chance to talk about that. Now, there was reporting, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the Ravens were going to draft Sanders, and Sanders said he didn't want to go to Baltimore, obviously because there was no opportunity to play with Lamar Jackson there. I believe that was part of the story there.
Yeah.
But it is interesting about how someday we'll sit down and talk about that. So that happens there. The Giants now don't have a coordinator. They're still bringing in different names. Shane Day, who's the quarterback's coach with the Chargers, worked with John's brother Jim, is one of the names. And, Peter, one of my favorite names in football, Jim Bob Cooter from the Colts. He's another one that they are talking to, along with Davis Webb and Alex Tanney. So they're still looking for somebody.
Jim Bob Cooter is actually second cousins with Freddie Key.
Of course he is. He has to be. He has to.
I made it up, but I think it could be true.
I love it. No, he has. I mean, anybody named Jim Bob Cooter, he's got to be related
What's
to.
What's our other guy's name again? What's my other guy, Freddie's guy again?
That's right. We did have another.
In Michigan?
Biff. Biff Poggi?
Come on. Poggi.
Yeah. Biff.
Yeah,
that's the family. That's the family right there. The
That's
Holy
the football
Trinity.
family.
Yeah. If your
Poggi.
family tree doesn't fork, you might be a redneck. And also another name you didn't mention is Charlie Weiss Jr.
Well, I didn't
Now-
because it doesn't sound like he's leaving Ole Miss.
Now
but it'd be the right hire.
Well, he's at LSU. Was at Ole Miss.
My mistake. Of course, he
And
went with Kiffin.
he ended up moving to LSU with Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
But if he's offered an OC job with the Giants, I'm sure he can get out of his contract.
Yep.
And, of course, you've got the quarterback, right, Dart that worked with him at Ole Miss. I don't love it because his whole body of work is in college, but he worked directly with your quarterback. So, and he obviously has got the talking about family tree.
Yeah.
With his dad and the relationship with the Giants there. So you wonder if he'll stay at LSU, or is that a possibility?
So is there concern, though, Don?
No, I mean, I know that there's people that, how do they lose out among them? Well, he got a head coaching job. I know it's a head coaching job in Cleveland, but it's a head coaching job.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take it. They'll find. I'm confident that they'll find someone that'll be able to do the job. I'm not that worried about it. I think it's an attractive job. The head coach came here because he loved the quarterback. I'm sure there's OCs that feel like working with him is going to be something that's going to be helpful. And also, as good as I think Harbaugh is going to be, he's a guy. Was he 63 years old? I mean, if it works. Hey, maybe you're the OC, and when he decides to retire, if you have a dominant 6-7 years, then maybe someday you might be able to replace him down the road somewhere. So I still think it's an attractive job. I don't think the Giants are overly worried about it. There are good names still available.
Peter, you think it's like when you're John Harbaugh, like you have a sense of calm that you put around an organization. Like we were just, you're in panic mode about Aaron Glenn because there's no track record, there's no credibility yet built up. But it's John Harbaugh. So does it make you have less anxiety? Because he'll figure it out. Whatever he hires, it's going to work because he has gone through a lot of coordinators in his time in Baltimore because a lot of them do end up moving on to better jobs.
Yeah, but that's exactly right. Part of the reason that you feel like you scored so big when you get a John Harbaugh is you're getting someone who comes from a stable situation. Part of a stable situation is bringing in good coordinators. And even better, they're good enough to leave and you find other ones. If you've been able to do that multiple times, obviously that gives you a ton of confidence. Most people don't come with that sort of cachet, and respectfully to Aaron Glenn, I don't know that anyone was thinking, hey, Aaron Glenn, can you be a head coach of a football team? Oh, can you also hire 8 people in the offseason? I don't know that anyone felt good about that.
No. So we'll see where all that goes, but they are still in the process there. 800-919-3776. We have another pained Jets fan. This is Bobby in Port Washington. Bobby, where are you at right now with the Jets?
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking me on. If you remember, not going to remember, but last year, some months ago, I went on quite a bit from Titans, Polo Grounds, till Joe Willie happened, yada, yada. I'm the broken guy. I don't know if you remember that, but I've had it. I'm going to be 75 in March. I'm turning blue. I deleted everything this year. I just couldn't watch the games. And I got to tell you, I love that Jason Dart. I think he's a winner, and I just need to. I don't know if it's a vacation or full time. I'll never totally get the green out of my system, but my focus. I'm gonna watch when Jason Dart's playing. I'm gonna watch quickly into the Knicks. Please don't go for Giannis. We won the Cup. Don't tell me those games weren't hard fought. It was real at the end. They didn't maybe give a shit as much at that last playoff game. They won. That was real.
We should have disconnected after the second Jason.
Yeah,
but
Jason Dart. That was the first indication.
So forget about his little slip.
He's a broken man.
He's broken. The man's broken. He's damaged.
He's turning blue.
The fact that he's called that he called him Jason Dart. Tells me
that didn't get it. No, to me the first one was when he said he was turning blue. And I thought, yeah, that can happen when you've been waiting a long time for something.
Yeah, but he's 75.
Oh, really, Alan?
What?
Is that all you think about?
He's been waiting a long time for the Super Bowl.
God.
It might be blue because it doesn't work anymore.
Turning blue.
75. But he wouldn't be all in because, he's like, I'm going to become a Giant fan, and you can't even say the quarterback's name tells me you wouldn't be all in.
Yeah.
Anybody that at this stage of his life, I'm not telling him not to give up on the team if he wants to quit. The reason you don't divert to another team, it'll never work. All those years of being a Jet fan, you think you're going to muster any passion for some other team.
It's not going to feel the same.
It's not going to feel the same, and it won't even be worth it. So
you'll feel weird too. It'll feel you can't do it. You can't.
I'm not giving my ruling. This is a different kind of topic.
Okay,
but I've always said that you're not a fraud if you quit on your team and don't pick another. If you just if you're going to tap out, say, all right, I'm done with football. I'll watch it as a casual fan.
But you have to abstain.
I'll bet the games.
Right.
But I'm not going to be passionate.
Yeah, I don't think you can be. You'd be faking it if you were. Andy's in Villanova at Villanova. Andy.
Really?
Okay.
What's going on, fellas?
How are you?
All right. Well, it's doing the best I can. That 98 game, there was a couple of things that were like, oh my goodness. In the first half, one key play, there was a two-play sequence where Byers, I believe it was Byers, went into motion, and then a ball rolled out onto the field. When that happened, Romanowski stayed in the middle of the defense. Jets come back, so the ball rolled out onto the field, and the referees stopped the play.
Mm-hmm.
Jets come back, and it seems like they're running the exact same play. Byers goes into the motion to the right, and then he throws it in the flat to Byers. But this time, Romanowski follows him when he goes out to the flat, and he gets hit, fumbles, and Romanowski's there to recover the ball right on the sideline. Just it was one of those things. You're just like, just things that happen to the Jets, that only happen to the Jets.
No, it was the fact that it was, like I said, 10-0, and then 10-7, and it just felt like, all right, but I mean, you're up 10.
Yeah, but
and you didn't score again the rest of the game, and you gave up 23 unanswered. But 10-0, Don, was like that last moment. It's all these experiences. It's the last moment you feel something. But you knew it was just something always happens, and I used it. I wore this one out for years with Bart. Lucy pulling away the football. Every time as a Jets fan, you think that she's not going to pull it away this time. I'm kicking it to Kingdom Come, and every time it gets pulled away, that's the life of a Jets fan.
Yeah, I get it. But, boy, those were the glory years compared to what's happened over the last 15. And, by the way, I don't know how many football fans follow hockey. The Sabres are really good, so it looks like they're going to end their streak at 14, so the Jets will be all by their lonesome.
Isn't that amazing?
15 straight years of missing the playoffs. But you know what? The Broncos were better. In Denver, that's tough. That's tough. Win in Indianapolis against Peyton Manning and the Colts, that's tough. Win in Pittsburgh against Ben Roethlisberger, that's tough.
Yeah.
I can't talk about those losses.
They won in New England against Tom Brady and the Patriots. It's not like to say that those teams, that those Rex teams couldn't have won there. Was it Chris Jenkins? They were missing him. I know one of the games. I didn't like how they were, and I know opposing defenses would make Mark throw because they were a ground and pound team. They were a run the ball team. For whatever reason, I thought it was the Colts game. They wouldn't run the ball, and like little things like that stay with you.
The killer thing is they would have beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing that's got to kill you.
The next year they were the best team in the league, and
right, because you're an Islander fan too. Islanders beat the Lightning in that COVID year.
Oh God.
They're beating the Canadians.
They're beating the Canadians.
And they're winning the Cup.
Well,
so that's what kills you.
Well, I'll go back to if you go back to 93. They win the 5th Cup before the Rangers end the 1940 thing in 93. Think about it. If Turgeon doesn't get hurt, if he doesn't get hurt, they go to the final. They win. They beat Gretzky again.
And you might beat Gretzky. But just talking about those 3 championship losses, especially 98.
That one stays with me.
But lumping it in with what we see now is insulting to those teams.
Yes.
Like those were good teams, well-run teams. They
different
just
franchises
couldn't do it.
They feel like different franchises, Donnie.
There's a difference between failing on the field because the team that you played was better or it wasn't your day, but to 15 straight years of missing the playoffs, 15 straight, and it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon.
Anytime soon. No, Sweet 16.
And if we're being fair, the Patriots were only truly the Patriots for half of that 15 years. The second half,
2018.
The second half,
right?
they haven't been the Patriots.
Yeah, 2018 is when the run ended, right, for New England.
And then the Bills jumped in.
Yeah.
And so, but you can't blame it on Belichick and Brady. They actually found a way during the prime of Belichick and Brady to get to championship games. How was that possible?
Jordan was in the way of the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
And then Olajuwon.
Yeah.
That's a little different. You're right, because in a lot of this run, you can't, you blame yourself. Heck, you haven't been in the game. The only one of the 15 years they've been in the game was the Bulls' 10-6 year.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's not even close. That was the only heartbreaker. You lost the final game of the season. You had a chance to go to the playoffs. Everything else has been under 500, out of it by the time we got to Halloween.
And that team was, for the most part that season, you had Fitzmagic. Like, there was a lot going on that year to make you feel like that might have been something. But to be honest with you, Don, in this 15-year run, they have had one winning season. It's the one you're talking about.
That's it.
A couple of times they had the 500 because you could do the 8-8. But, man.
And even that was
once they had 8-8. I'm sorry. Once.
And that was a decade ago. We're talking about 2015.
No, like that. That's again. We do this as we act like 2015.
But
I feel like it was 2 years ago. But we all know it's been a decade.
That's why we're talking about, having a 17-6 lead in Indianapolis in the championship game and kind of lumping it in with this pap. It's like throwing filet mignon on a turd.
Do you guys want more conspiracy theories?
Wait. I do. I just want to say one thing.
Please do.
The thing about your team being terrible is it means you have to find a different reason to watch the playoffs. For example, betting on FanDuel.
Well, that's a great reason.
It's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, the final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. You're a new customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the Patriots, the Fakakta other team that I also don't care about, whoever you want to bet on. Ride with the dog, go with the favorite. It doesn't matter. But here's what you can do. You can build one last same-game parlay. You know what? If I had to do it, fine. I'd go with Sam Darnold in Seattle. But make it count. This is the last call for FanDuel for the football season, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. 21 or over, physically present in New York. First online real money wager, only $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com for help with a gambling problem. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
How are your mentals right now, Peter? I mean, you got to start feeling it now. The time difference, you're doing a lot of media now. Yeah. How thrown off do you feel right now?
Let's call attention to it. Go ahead, Peter. You weren't thinking about it till now.
No.
Yeah,
it's clear his brain is not fully functioning on American sports right now.
No, well, because I forgot who they were playing in the Super Bowl.
You forgot who was
I think that was more of a statement.
It took me another couple of seconds, and Seattle.
that other
Fakakta team.
That may be a drop. We may hear that again, I feel. My brain is actually not fried.
Good.
I will tell you that, like, ever since the flight, my stomach has been not great. I haven't felt, like, physically great. I was talking to ChatGPT about it. Apparently, this is something that can happen on, like, a 12-hour flight to then being in a different time zone. So, like, you get bloated on the plane, then you're eating at the wrong times, and your body gets, like, thrown off. And I've just kind of felt, like, stomach achy and not awesome. But mentally, I'm actually okay. Tomorrow, though, I have to take the bus to the venue in the morning, and then the show doesn't air until 10 o'clock local time. So my countdown show starts at 8 o'clock. Royal Rumble's at 10 o'clock local. That's 2 p.m. back in New York. I'll do the post show at 1 a.m., and then, not to sound too much like Don LaGreca, we then go straight to the charter and take off at like 5 a.m.
Oof.
So tomorrow is going to be the backbreaker.
Yeah.
And then at the risk of, I'm not going to say anything publicly, but then there's an event that I'd like to go to on Sunday evening when I get home. I don't know if I can pull it together. I'm going to have to see because we land in Philadelphia, and then I'll get in a car and come back.
Wow. That's why you get paid the
So
big
I'm surviving,
bucks.
but
You got to battle through.
That's right. That's
Hashtag Peter Strong. We're with you, though.
That's right.
We're with you. We love conspiracy theories. Anthony, in my birth town of Ronkonkoma, is on with us now. Anthony.
What up?
Hey, gentlemen, thank you for taking my call. Alan, Peter, Don, thank you so much. So I have an NBA conspiracy. We've all heard of the frozen envelope, but my conspiracy theory is about how LeBron James won Rookie of the Year despite Melo winning Rookie of the Month every month.
Yeah.
Now, I have heard this conspiracy theory that LeBron James gave a stink about not making the All-Star game in his rookie year. Now, he was a rookie, but he was the phenom. He was the next big thing, and they acquiesced and gave him Rookie of the Year to appease him. And then he didn't miss another All-Star game until this year. So I just want to hear your thoughts on that. Love the show, guys. Thank you so much. And, Peter, after you guys answer this, if you can give me your Royal Rumble predictions.
Ooh.
Guys, have a great one. Thank
We're
you.
going to do that before we let Peter go, for sure. I don't like this conspiracy theory because LeBron was 18 years old and did not yet have any clout in the league.
Right.
Your thoughts?
I think that's it. You know, it's easy to say that now when you see what LeBron James has become. And everybody knew LeBron James was huge, but an 18-year-old kid having that kind of sway, I don't think so.
Not yet, especially in that league at the time when you still had people who had some clout, who were swinging it. So,
I love sports conspiracy theories are so much fun.
No, they're great. I really think, you know what? This gives us a new list idea maybe for the summer.
I might
Top
have done
5
it during
conspiracy
COVID, right,
theories that we can create, not that are out there, that we curate ourselves. 5 conspiracy theories you've never heard but will believe.
Actually, there could be something to it, or it's just a funny thought.
Hang on, everybody. Post NFL draft, we're going to need something to replace the NFL binge.
So a different conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy Mondays.
I don't mind that.
I like it.
That's a lot of conspiracy.
It's not alliterations.
Well, you don't have to do a 5 every Monday. We could do 1.
Just create. Now you're saying
and then debate it
one,
out.
Or just something that's happening, and then like what we're doing today with the conspiracy theories on why.
It could be either. What do you think, Peter? I think we could do it either way. It could be something in current events that we could create into a conspiracy, or just one from the past that we could say, this happened, I have a conspiracy theory about it.
I think we may be like over planning it.
Okay.
I think maybe it should simply become a new thing on our show that whenever we're talking about a topic of the day, callers just hit us with the conspiracy theory that we're not even asking for.
We don't even know.
But that could be what we do every Monday, and it could be Monspiracy instead of
I got it.
Monday.
There you go. Monspiracy.
That's it.
Monspiracy.
Right. Okay.
That's
there it is.
What do you think,
Got a ring to
Anthony?
it.
Now we can sell it. We definitely have to find a way
we're going to sell it.
And we could use like what would be like this, like what shows like not a Ripley's Believe It or Not or a
Unsolved Mysteries.
What was the one with the Leonard Nimoy narrating? Was that the one? Unsolved Mysteries?
No, that was I was just thinking of that one, Don.
Mythbusters.
No,
that's more modern. But the one with Leonard Nimoy.
Sorry.
That was Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, there was so many good.
What was the name of that? Oh, it's going to bother me now. I'll find it. Leonard Nimoy.
Go ahead.
In Search of. Oh,
yes.
In
well
Search
done.
of.
Find that's the theme song or the theme they would play. That or the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that In Search of theme will be perfect for this.
I'm almost positive.
See if you can find it, Jacob, before we go to break. It should be easy to find.
Yeah. Well,
Leonard Nimoy, In Search of, it'll pop right up. They'll have the opening credits, the music. Bang. YouTube.
Love it.
Love it. I love it because I'm on YouTube. I love it because it has all the answers.
That's perfect. All right. In the meantime, there's no conspiracy. You know what's coming next. It is Friday. And so that means Fraud Alert Friday. But this time there's a twist because we have to bring something to the table and have a discussion of whether or not this would be fraudulent if a team moved out of the country.
I love it.
To another country. Would it be fraudulent if you then said, well, I got to now root for another team completely? What say the judge and more? Next. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
It's Chuck Devine with snowcountry.com. At Lowe's, Blueprint Takeoffs turn your blueprints into quotes faster. Bring your plans to the Lowe's Pro Desk and get help streamlining the estimating process. Another quick cold blast for Friday slowly loosens its grip this weekend and beyond, especially in the afternoon hours, so good days Saturday and Sunday to ski the best pack powder this season. Camelback on every trail in the Poconos, plus 42 snow tubing lanes and Mountain Creek going from 4 different peaks. Lots of terrain park features on their South Peak. Mount Peter celebrates their 90th anniversary on Saturday. They'll have a live DJ, street performers, a torchlight parade, and fireworks. Both Mount Peter and Thunder Ridge got 1.5 feet this week. Bel Air and Wyndham got more than 2 feet. Gore Mountain in the Adirondacks, lots of cruisers with natural glades and moguls. They ride the gondola, and so does Whiteface with 25 miles of slopes. Stratton and Killington ride gondolas to virtually every powdery trail in Vermont.
You don't just ski or ride, you dominate. At Killington, we fuel your adventure. Be the beast. Ski and ride Killington.
Not all F words are bad. Some are actually great, like fast, free fiber for 4 months. Yep, switch to Optimum Fiber for as low as $25 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get 4 months free, HBO Max included for 1 year, and a 5-year price lock. Don't wait, this free fiber deal won't last long, and the fastest, most reliable, most consistent internet speeds await you. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/free today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. Absolutely no easy way to get around right now, and we've got this big issue over in the Bronx. Hutch northbound, a tractor-trailer snuck on the roadway and overturned by Westchester Avenue. All lanes are out, everybody being forced off onto East Tremont. Slow crawl there. You're jammed and backed up across the Whitestone Bridge into Queens. Bumper-to-bumper ride on the outbound Gowanus in Brooklyn. Right after the Prospect, a crash in the right lane. Delays there go back onto the westbound BQE from the LIE. Not moving at all on the Staten Island Expressway westbound. Looks like an accident by Slauson Avenue. You're stopped there from the Verrazano. Only easy ride to the outbound George Henry Hudson. That's about it. Inbound George 5 to 10 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln and Holland Tunnels close to a 40-minute ride. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Did you or someone you know participate in fraudulent fan behavior?
I'm a fraud with a capital F.
Is your friend a fraud?
I have been a complete and utter fraud.
Are you a fraud?
What is fraud?
Let's ask Don McGregor.
Screw! Go scratch yourself!
Brought to you by D'Agostino Law.
Well, this is Fraud Friday. And before we get into, Peter, all of the fraud submissions, the Honorable Donald LaGreca is agreeing to advise us.
Yes.
Offer us free legal advice on this topic that we brought up earlier in the show. What if, as we did...
Speaking of legal advice, by the way, it is Fraud Alert Friday, brought to you by D'Agostino Law. Continue.
Oh, there
D'Agostino.
Can't do it without the song.
Can't do
So we had a caller suggest in our conspiracy theories that what if there was this idea that Woody Johnson just wants to have the Jets be so bad that they can then move to the UK and be the first NFL team to play in Europe. Right. We thought that was kind of silly, but it brought up an interesting point. Let's just say that happens. And now I'm a Jets fan. I don't have a team anymore because it left the country, literally. Is it fraudulent behavior then, Don, for me to say, well, the Jets are gone now? I will root for the Giants.
I will rule. And my ruling is it would not be fraudulent.
Wow.
Because
D'Agostino.
What else are you supposed to do? All right, now we live in a world where you could still follow the team, right? Because we've got the NFL package, and you got Sirius satellite radio, you got the internet, so you can miss a beat. But they left you. You became a Jet fan because, why? Most people, because they were born in New York and they happen to fall in love with the Jets. They betray you. They leave. Was my dad a fraud when the Dodgers left for Los Angeles? I mean, and he tried to continue to follow the team. He couldn't. It was hard. And then when the Mets came in, he became a Met fan. Would he have been a fraud? He felt he would have been a fraud if he became a Yankee fan.
Yes.
But they were rivals. He couldn't do it because the Dodgers and Yankees played in the World Series all the time. There is no real rivalry between the Jets and the Giants except for the geography. The fans getting on each other. They've never met in a Super Bowl. They've never met in the postseason. They've had a couple of big games here and there, but there isn't any real rivalry. Dodgers-Yankees was a rivalry that was like almost Yankees-Red Sox. It was almost like Rangers-Islanders. It was that kind of rivalry. Couldn't do it. But if, let's say, there was no rivalry between the Dodgers and the Yankees, and the Mets never came to be, and it was just going to be the Yankees, would he be a fraud if he just decided, all right, I'm going to be a Yankee fan because I love baseball and I don't want to stop following the sport? I don't think it would be fraudulent. They betrayed you. They left you. You didn't choose to leave them. They left you. And now I've got to adjust. Why should I be punished and not follow a team because my team got greedy and decided to leave New York? Because that's what it would be,
Yeah, they're the
right?
frauds.
That wouldn't be, hey, we're not drawing anybody, we're losing money, we got to go.
Right.
It was, oh, there's greener pastures out there in the UK, we're going to leave you flat. I can't call somebody a fraud if they were to pivot that way. I mean, I would honor the person and I would respect the person who says, I'm done with football. I'm not going to root for the Giants. But I'm not going to stick a label on somebody who says, you know what, I got left flat. I got left at the altar. I can't remarry. I can't marry the neighbor. The hot
That's right. Marry the
neighbor wife with a brand new coach and the nice quarterback.
Well, if she's a wife, I mean, that's tough.
Yeah.
Well, not wife. I mean, I'll make her my wife. She's single. She's available. She's got the brand new head coach.
These are all metaphors,
shiny new
Peter.
quarterback.
Different court.
That's right.
Yep.
Right. That's
Actually, we live in the same house.
That's true. You don't even have to change your address. Okay.
No fraud.
All right,
you guys
guys.
agree or disagree?
Right. It's a great example of because that was my mother. My mother was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan. They left. She couldn't root for the Yankees, but she did tell me that she went to Yankee games because she loved baseball so much that she would go to Yankee games, but she wasn't really a Yankees fan. And when the Mets came around, it immediately was, well, I'm a National League fan. That's my team, so now I'm a Mets fan. That's what that was about. I also wonder if, like, when the Colts left Baltimore, and now you're in Baltimore, and then the Ravens come around, you become a Ravens fan. You're not a fraud, right?
You know, that's a good question, Peter. How many Colt fans became then Redskin fans because the Colts were gone? It would be.
We've had this conversation.
It was a dozen years later that the Ravens came. So for over a decade, they had to do something. What did they do?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I know what happened. A lot of them did become Redskin fans. And by the time the Ravens came back around, the Redskins were on the fall off. So then what did the frauds do? They jump back to the Ravens.
Right.
Ravens are in the Super Bowl. Now, the second the Ravens show up, they get in the Super Bowl. They're done with the Redskins again.
Now, I've got a question for you guys before we get to the calls and the emails.
Right.
Do you realize, I don't know the percentage, but there are a lot of Jet fans that became Jet fans. You'd have to be older, like way older than me. Like there's probably a lot of Jet fans that are in their 70s or 80s or 60s that were Giant fans. Could not get tickets, and that was back in the day when the games were blacked out at home. And then when the Jets came, tickets were available, and they said, you know what, I want to go see football. I'm going to become a Jet fan because I can buy the tickets and I can go to the games. Are you a fraud if you did that? Now, again, you couldn't watch the games then. If you didn't go to the game, my father would rent a motel room in like Connecticut, and they'd drive with a bunch of buddies with pizza and a case of beer.
At least that's what he
and
told
watch
you.
the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He might have left some things out, but
I'm
those
sure
are the parts that he told me.
Yeah. It's a good story, though.
Is that forgivable, or is that fraudulent behavior?
I feel like it's because the business forced you out, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Team wasn't available to you. How can I root for a team that's not available to me? I can't get a ticket. Can't watch it on TV. What do you want me to do?
A team representing New York, and I can go to the games.
That's emotional abandonment.
But just a thought. But what do we got today, Peter? Anything good?
Let's go, Peter.
Are you kidding me? Of course we do. Every week people send us their emails, dhrespn@gmail.com. Am I a fraud? Hi, guys. Antonio in Phoenix here. Big fan of the show. I'm writing to the Honorable Judge LaGreca to get an official ruling on my sports fandom. I was born in Phoenix and have lived here essentially my whole life. My entire family's from North Jersey, and I was raised a diehard Yankee, Knicks, and Jet fan. On the other hand, here we go. Since I grew up here in Arizona and still live in Phoenix, I do also consider myself a fan of the D-backs, Suns, and Cardinals. However, I always give my New York teams number one priority, and whenever they're in town playing the local teams, I will attend the games in full NY gear and root for them to win without question. For example, when the D-backs beat the Yankees in the 2001 World Series, I was a young kid, but I remember crying my eyes out because the Yankees lost. My fiance likes to poke fun at me and call me a fraud because I've never lived in New Jersey and says the Arizona team should be my number one. Am I a fraud for being a fan of both NY and Arizona sports teams?
No fraud.
D'Agostino.
Wow. Did not
He's
expect
honoring
this.
his family by rooting for the Jets, Knicks, and the Yankees. They take priority when they play one of the Arizona teams, but being somebody from Phoenix, I can understand him having affinity for those teams and going to those games because he just can't, travel, 2,000 miles every day to go see those teams play. But he cried when the Yankees lost to the Diamondbacks. So he shows his allegiance when it's necessary, but he's a sports fan and he's representing that area. And let's face it, there is really, other than when the Diamondbacks played the Yankees, there's no rivalry between the Phoenix, Arizona area and the New York area, right?
No.
So,
how you feeling about this, Peter?
I say no fraud.
I love this. I think this shows an evolving in our judge.
A growth.
So it's a more listen. It's a more progressive ruling.
It is.
I would say that.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think it shows empathy. Because to live in a place like Arizona, you're so far away, but your whole family's from North Jersey. Like, don't get me wrong, it does reek of a little bit of fraudulence. But if he had said, "Oh, I switched here, but now but he didn't. He's consistent. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I feel like we're being lenient because the idea of crying when your team lost to the team that you normally have watch regularly, it kind of suggests that's the team you care about more.
Yeah, of course.
So
he
it's
does.
sort of like, so I see why you're being lenient there. But so I guess what his Arizona teams mean to him is it's just entertainment. It's just something to do. So see, he's going to the club, but the dance that she's on the pole, I don't it's entertaining me, but when my girl comes in from New York, I take her out nice. Like it's special. Sort of like that. Keep me busy. I go to the club. Just watch. No big deal.
Wow. So it's the wife that lets you go to the strip club.
Well, because she lives in New York for some reason.
So if you got that like a progressive wife that says, listen, I'm on the road a lot.
Yeah, I'm not home enough.
So I'm not home. I'm not there to be with you and to take care of you. So if you feel like you want to go to the strip club,
yeah, just go to the club. Don't worry about it.
You don't want to, you want to get, take the laptop, go to town. You're good. We're good. I get it. But when I come home, you better be home.
Yeah, it's just me.
You better shut that laptop.
Yeah, I think it's like that.
Judge, we don't have a lot of time.
What are you trying to say?
Jacob has in-station fraud that needs to be brought to your attention.
Is it tease-worthy? Can we bring it back?
I think we should bring it back.
All right, because I want to be able to give this time. It's station fraud.
Yeah, station fraud.
That's a new kind of fraud.
But what happened, Peter? I'm sorry.
It is. Well, no, I don't. I was gonna say I don't know if it's tease-worthy.
No, I don't think so either.
It's not one of the. Yeah, it's not one of the on-air talents from the
All right,
station.
well, you know what?
Let's get it over
quick. Then let's just do it quick. Go ahead.
Get to it.
Go ahead.
It's from our friend Michael Navarra.
Okay, big fan.
He said, "This is the note I sent to Jets fan friends and family. Let's go Giants. I'm done with the Jets, guys.
Oh boy.
The end of season presser with Glenn and Muji finalized it for me. After that, I felt devoid of any fandom I ever had. I was astonished at how I felt. It was something I've never felt before, so I took it as a sign to move on. I vacated any semblance of fandom I've ever had and relegated it to a box. Jerseys, hats, picks, yearbooks, lanyards, ticket stubs, gone. Wiped any social media too. It's over. Back in 1998, I was an NY football fan, Jets and Giants, and my NYC friends invite...
No, hit the button.
I love you, Mike. Fraud. Goodbye. No, we're done.
That's the same thing I told him.
Oh, disgusted right there. Just really, he soiled himself right in the middle of the email. Just all over himself. We were just talking about the wife that lets lets you think outside the box when she's not around. I got it, Rick.
This is okay.
I think I can read it on the air. I believe.
Do you have to?
I believe the Rosenbergs referred to that as the Amazon guy.
That is
while he's
Amazon guy.
a million miles from home. We're gonna do that.
That's the no. And listen,
with
Don,
child,
though,
with child, and he's got no reason to think she'd ever stray.
You know what? Though, I want to hear the siren for Don. Let's be honest, fraud.
D'Agostino.
No. There you go. Because Alan, sometimes he acts like the one who defends me and goes, no, it's too far. But he's the one making the choice to read the emails. These are his choices.
Because I've always told you, Peter, I am a slave to good radio. And sometimes that had to be heard. Because while you were reading Navarro's pure fraud pap, I read that text and I laughed out loud, and people saw me on YouTube. I had to share.
Navarro really killed it, by the way, when he said, I knew the line that killed Don. I'm an NY football fan.
Oh,
That's it.
I love all New York teams. I want all New York teams to win.
All right, that was Fraud Alert Friday, brought to you by D'Agostino Law. 35 years of getting accident victims and Social Security disability clients every dollar they deserve. Offices in New York and New Jersey, 1-800-BITE-BACK, 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino Law, bite back.
But I do have a message for Jet fans when we come back, if you're interested.
A message for Jets fans.
Yes.
And your calls.
Yes.
Next, Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This Saturday on The Gary Myers Show, new Giants head coach John Harbaugh joins the show at 1 p.m. to talk about how he's going to turn around Big Blue. Gary will also preview Super Bowl 60 with Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. It's all this Saturday at noon with Gary Myers on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
From 30 for 30 Podcasts.
Did you say someone got shot? Brian Pata, senior defensive lineman from Miami, gunned down.
The key to this case, it's Brian.
An hour before he died, he was on the phone arguing with somebody.
This might be a hit.
You want the truth. They just want a conviction.
Being placed under arrest.
We had a killer amongst us.
Murder at the U, coming soon.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
The post-crib assembly press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Michael, you had some trouble putting the crib together today. What went wrong?
You know, those instructions can be tough, and, well, you saw the outcome.
Were you upset when your wife pulled you and called in the backup?
No, I mean, the baby needs a crib to sleep in, so whatever it takes.
You've got a changing table to put together next. It's got a lot of drawers. What's your comment?
You know what? We're done here.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Empower. After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he can be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
For 100 days, I'm going to cross the 7 continents because the answers to everything important
are out there at the edges of our world. I'm stepping into the unknown. Where are we going? To see our planet
This is amazing!
as it's never been seen before. From pole to pole.
Pole to Pole with Will Smith from National Geographic. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Show me the way.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPN New York.
Now, I thought about it with Navarro's, giving up on the Jets.
Wait, is this the Nimoy theme? This is In Search Of.
Yeah, but this doesn't sound right, though, does it?
Don't love this. We could do better.
We're gonna have to do better. Like the Twilight Zone might be just too Twilight Zone, but
too obvious.
It would be better than that. Yeah, just a little.
What was the David Duchovny show? What was that called? X-Files.
Oh, X-Files.
Oh, that might be a good.
That'd be perfect.
He's not doing.
I used to use the X-Files all the time.
Oh, you did?
On the old radio station that will not be mentioned.
Oh,
but it still works very well.
Works here.
Well, yeah,
sure.
Exactly. But with everything that's going on, if you, as a Jet fan, if you said you were done and you just didn't pick up another football team, I could completely understand at this point, wouldn't you? Like, because Alan, you were talking about your 10 toes down.
That's it.
But what are you gaining from that? Like, it's almost like you stay in a loveless marriage for the children. You're staying in it for the children, right? So there's a reason. I'm going to stick with this because I believe that one day they're going to win. You've admitted you don't think that's ever going to happen. So what exactly are you accomplishing by toughing it out, ruining your life, sticking with this team? What ultimately is gained? What, for the slim chance that eventually they'll win?
Here's how I'll put it. I love Stephanie so much that if I ever lost her, I would never marry again. Never. Not even a thought in my mind. Doesn't mean I wouldn't.
I don't like it.
It's that's just how it is because nothing will compare, right? So for me, I can't possibly root for another team. Now I could take breaks, which I'm going to do, which I did this year. You saw, I was emotionally disconnected from this team this year. But it doesn't mean that I still keep an eye on it. It still matters to me, and there's just no way I could have the same feeling just suddenly at my age after everything I've been through since 1980 with this franchise. For me to then just go, I'm going to root for the Giants now, or I'm going to root for whoever now.
I agree.
Can't do it.
All right,
so
I'm
why
not
bother?
telling you to do that. I'm telling you to just quit it and not pick up another team and just say, I'm done. I'm not a Jet fan. I'll watch football casually. I'll bet on the games.
But Don, that's how. But that's kind of like what I'm doing is more of the just shutting it down. No, because I don't want to declare that. I don't want to do that.
But why not? What you said you're 10
because
toes
it's
out
easy
for
me. First of all, I'm not what some of these fans are, which are so diehard. It's in their life. They have season tickets. They go to every single home game and tailgate. They built a bus and painted it green and drive it to the games. Their license plates are something Jets related. Their whole lives are Jets. They're way in, and I get it. I'm not that, so I can easily just walk away for a while.
I'm talking to you, but what I'm saying is those people that drive the bus, that have the tattoos, their reason is it's my life, and I'm not giving up on it because it's who I am. It's my identity. Being a Jet fan is my identity.
Yeah.
That's not you.
Right.
And to walk away just to come back, to me, that feels fraudulent. Like, just get out.
Well,
why not just get out? You're obviously not completely in love. It doesn't define you. It's not who you are.
But I'm not that kind of a fan. I've never been like that in anything. It's not like the Knicks. It's my job, so I care. But it's not. I'm not that. I've never been a jersey wearing face paint kind of fan. I don't have a room in my house dedicated to a team. I've never been like that. But it doesn't mean I don't have emotions and care about teams and want to see my teams win. And I'm not the type of person that can easily just say, like, again, I root for all New York teams. Like I don't exist in that world either. So that's why I can just say, they're on. But this season, after watching 2 or 3 games, I just said, they're not going to consume my energy this year. They're not worth it.
But haven't we all? I know what it's like to have a season. My team is by far the most important part of my football love. I'm not a fantasy guy. It's my team. But in the years in which they were terrible and don't make the playoffs, I still want to be dialed into football every weekend. I still find a way to enjoy it. I don't want to give up on the whole thing altogether.
Yeah, I do too. I still watch every weekend. I still watch. I still care. I still talk about it. But I'm not going to have the same kind of energy. And you know what? After 15 years, Don, I don't remember what it's like to be that fired up for the Jets.
So, but what I'm saying is, I guess for you, then why even just be done? Like you're because what you're describing with the wife, right? Your wife, you love your wife. It doesn't sound like you love the Jets anymore. You're not going to fall back in love.
Well, no, he would. That's the difference. You know what it is?
But
you know what it is?
They
turn it around.
You know how easy it is to be a fan,
there.
Peter? If I just got to tap out there in the bad times, and
listen.
when they get good again, I'll climb back aboard.
No.
That's not what fans
I was there with Rodgers. I I really was. I was all in. That was Camelot. And then the Achilles happened, and I can't describe it. That moment, I sat on the couch. Everybody was my kids. My wife kept saying, "Did he get hurt?" I couldn't hear anything. It was just white noise, because I just hit this point of like, oh my God, like it always happens. Like, I just don't know what it was, and I haven't been the same since then, Don.
Right, and And what I'm saying is, I think that I think you're done. I think if they ever got back,
it wouldn't feel the same.
Follow, but not follow it the same way you did before, because dead's dead.
I hate that.
Dead's dead.
Yeah, I hate that.
But here's last thing I'll say.
I won't know until they're
good. I think Don is wrong. Don is wrong. I think they start putting together a season. You start little by little falling back in love again, and then a couple of moments happen, and before you know, the flame is ignited. I just don't think it goes away all the way.
What was that Janet Jackson song? Again. That's exactly the song. All right, we don't have much time, Peter.
I heard from a friend today,
what a
and
great
she
song.
said you were in town. All right, sorry, go ahead.
No, I could sing it with you.
But we don't. Miss Janet, if you're nasty.
Well, that's yeah.
Or Miss Jackson, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too. Before we lose Peter.
I can learn to like this. I always thought that was really sexy when she said that. I can learn to like this. I thought that was dead sexy.
It's a great point.
What do you think, Peter? You right?
I think everything about the woman from 1985 to 2002
right after
some of the greatest
times.
Things we've ever seen.
I get it, but there could be levels, right? There could be levels.
Yeah, but to me, my prime Janet is 93. It's the Janet album. The song that Alan was referencing, that was the period when I'm going to the concerts. I was so in. Oh, my God.
I can learn to like this.
I can learn to like this was a.
All right, Don, we'll give you a moment during the break. You got your towel off a little bit.
Yeah, Don might need a towel. In the meantime, he's going on the road again. Peter, so we have Royal Rumble. We can't let you go without getting some some of the names here, by the way. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Rey Mysterio, Brock Lesnar. I know you were making a big deal about that this morning. Give me a little feel of what should we expect and what are you anticipating?
Well, let's see. There are still 13 spots on the men's side that haven't been announced, 14 on the women's side. So there will be some surprises. The level of those surprises, we won't know until tomorrow when that music hits. That's the beauty of the Royal Rumble. My pick for the men's side is pretty chalk, in my opinion.
Okay.
I'm going Roman Reigns. I think it's been 2 years with Roman Reigns now sort of removed from the top of the card in WWE. I think it is fully time for Roman to take back over. I'm taking Roman there, although obviously Brock wouldn't shock me. And the sleeper that I would love is the new guy from NXT, Obafemi. I would love that if they wanted to just throw everything on its head, Obafemi wins the Royal Rumble. Doubt it'll happen, would be sweet. As for the women's side, my hope is that Bianca Belair returns. However, we don't know if that's possible. So if I have to make a pick, it kind of makes me sick to say this, but like, I sort of think the woman who's been attacking me day in and day out, Becky Lynch, actually has a chance to win this whole thing.
Oh, you'd have to say nice things. You don't want
And happy
that.
birthday, Becky, by the way, even though she attacked me again and Don's brother yesterday.
Yeah. You guys are like...
And Don, I had a great...
Right,
I had a great chat with your brother today.
Oh, you did?
I did like a 25-minute segment today with your brother and Bubba Ray. It was a great time. We spoke about you. Bubba Ray or Bully Ray, depending what you want to call him, spoke about you breaking your brother's leg. We had a great chat. But either way, it's going to be awesome tomorrow. Countdown show starts at 12 noon, and then the Rumble on ESPN Unlimited at 2 o'clock.
I love you like no other.
Perfect. Get some rest.
I love
you
watching.
all.
I'll see you Monday.
All right. Peter Rosenberg. Coming up, 5 o'clock hour, big stuff to get into, the Jets and all the conspiracies happening there. And
LeBron
we have
too, baby.
What's that?
LeBron too.
And yes, Sunday could be a historic night or the end of history or something at the Garden, if that's what we expect, and we'll get into that as well. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Those heavy delays on the Staten Island Expressway westbound by Slauson Avenue, doing some snow removal. 2 right lanes are out. You're jammed there and starting to back up across the Verrazano onto the Brooklyn side. Good news over in the Bronx. Hutch northbound reopened by Westchester Avenue. They picked up that overturned tractor trailer that snuck on the roadway. Still crawling there, heading across the span of the Whitestone Bridge from the Queens side. Best of it's the outbound George Henry Hudson and southbound Egan. West Side Highway northbound. You're packed there from the 79th Street Boat Basin. Inbound George looking good for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln Orynia 30 to 40. Outbound Holland 45 plus. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Not all F words are bad. Some are actually great, like fast, free fiber for 4 months. Yep, switch to Optimum Fiber for as low as $25 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get 4 months free, HBO Max included for 1 year, and a 5-year price lock. Don't wait, this free fiber deal won't last long, and the fastest, most reliable, most consistent internet speeds await you. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/free today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
More people trust their hearts to New York Presbyterian than any other hospital in New York. It's because New York Presbyterian has the most experienced cardiovascular doctors, treating a full range of heart conditions, from heart failure to valve repair, with the most advanced treatments. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital, based on U.S. News & World Report 2025 to 2026 cardiology, heart, and vascular surgery rankings.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan. We are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
All right, 5:05 in the big city with Don LeGrec. I'm Alan Hahn. 800-919-3776 is the number. We got a lot to get to here.
Yes.
Because there's so many things that we did a lot of football in the first couple of hours, and that certainly is always going to be part of the conversation. I do want to revisit a moment from last night because it was so good, and it's our man, Don LeGreca, and the Devils who fought back to get to overtime against the Predators of Nashville, and then this happened.
Mercer, he spins back behind his cage, and now the Devils possess for the first time.
Great read there by Mercer.
He's sure with a roll, a blast, and scores! The captain, Nico Hischier, in overtime. Put a pitchfork in this one. Devils win 3-2.
It's a great call, and I'm telling you what I'm noticing is Dano has gotten better and better and better at stepping back and letting you have those calls. Because he laughed, which is fine. That actually added, I thought. The laugh added to the call. Your thoughts?
Oh, it did. And I think I always felt steppage adds to it as long as it doesn't, obscure the actual call. But remember, it's television. People see what's going on. And I think Danico's just a legend. He's Mr. There are players that are better than Kenny. Like Paul O'Neill was a better Yankee than Danico was a Devil, from a statistical standpoint, right? But just the significance of him. He's right there with Clyde Frazier. Now, he wasn't the player Clyde was, but he's all about the Devils. Drafted by the Devils. Played his entire career with the Devils. Won 3 Stanley Cups. His number's retired.
Mm-hmm.
Worked for the organization after he retired.
No, he's seen everything.
He's seen everything. He's a part of it. And he's like a caged animal when he watches these games because he just loves the team so much, and he really knows the game well. So when somebody like him says something, the fans want to hear it.
Yep.
So I thought, listen, I was just hoping my voice would make it through.
Oh, it held.
I'm happy that it did. So.
Yeah, it held in that moment, which was great. But I also think for him, he's shown respect to you there, which says a lot about the chemistry you guys have already developed. Now, on the other side of the hockey ledger here in New York, last night was significant on the ice at Madison Square Garden for the road team. The Islanders get a 2-1 win. It was not a pretty game. It was a hard game to watch, Don. I'm flipping back and forth between your game and that game. It was a hard game to watch. Second game back-to-back, two teams playing each other. In the old days, it would have been filled with fights. There was nothing really going on physically in this game, but the Islanders got a couple of goals. It is kind of coincidental that Soucy got a goal,
right.
the former Ranger, against his former team. Schaefer got a beautiful goal, and Schaefer gets it. If you remember, when he was drafted, one of the first things he said in his interview was how we're going to beat the Rangers every time we play them. Well, that has happened. 4 straight wins this season, 4-0, all regulation wins. That's never happened in the history of the rivalry from the Islanders' side. So he kept his word. And what it means to him to beat the Rangers, this is what he said.
Getting drafted to this team, coming to play for the Islanders, I know there's that big rivalry, and every game from here on out's a playoff game, especially against the Rangers. It's a big one for us, and like I said before, we want to beat them every time, and we want to keep on doing that because I know it makes us happy, I know it makes our fans happy, and we get 2 points out of it, so it's fun.
Speaking of fans, he played at the Garden So what did he think of the atmosphere between the Islanders and Rangers in their games?
I think from just the start, when I played my first Islanders-Rangers game, the building's full of both fans, and it's loud. I mean, we can score here, and it gets loud because we got a lot of fans here. They can score there, it can get a little loud, but our fans are way louder than theirs, so it's pretty fun when we, go on the board and our fans are cheering.
Shots fired, Donnie. I love this kid. He's got great personality. He's 18. He has great personality. He's obviously a tremendous talent. He's got a lot of confidence. He's going to be a star in this town for a long time. But I love that he's, instead of maybe just trying to be respectful or just got to stay in the middle or aw shucks this whole thing, he's all in on trying to build up the rivalry again and say, no, it matters to us and we love it, and then throw in the fact that he thinks that the Islander fans are louder.
Right. And think of how easy it would be for him to just not know or care.
Yeah.
He's 18 years old. And let's face it, the Islander-Ranger rivalry has been on ice for a long time. They have not met each other in the playoffs since 1994. There was a lot of time the Rangers were irrelevant, the Islanders were irrelevant. They really haven't had much going on in his lifetime, in these 18 years that he's been alive.
They're rarely good at the same time. Right.
A kid from Hamilton, Ontario, what is he going to know about the rivalry? Where is he going to know? But whether he was told it, whether he read up on it his own, but he understands the importance of it. And it's easy for an athlete to just say, hey, listen, I'm worried about myself. I'm worried about my team. He dived right in. And, because this organization, with his mom passing away and the whole breast cancer thing the day that he was drafted, he loves being an Islander. To be an Islander means to hate the Rangers.
Yep.
To be a Ranger means to hate the Islanders. And whether it's PR, whether it was himself finding out that rivalry is important to a lot of these fans, and for him to jump on board, that's going to win everybody over. That's a kid that completely gets it both on and off the ice, and they got themselves something pretty special. They do. Yeah. How special, we'll see. But right now, this is a difference maker, and he's a major reason why they're where they are.
Yeah. There's certain players that if you draft them and they suddenly just become franchise changers, not only with his talent, there's something about his personality that you can see took right away with the veterans on the team.
Yeah.
And has really changed the culture there just because of not just who he is as a talent, but who he is as a person. I know it sounds corny, but I'm telling you, from everything I'm hearing, there is really that kind of force multiplier impact that he's had, which is great. And that's all you need for a franchise. Now the right thing to do is you got to build properly around him, because when you have a talent this good, he'll have a C on his chest one day. We know this, but he's got to raise a Stanley Cup.
And
you got to have that.
When you get that kind of a player. Now, it's hard to be that young, but when he starts to mature into what he is, that's the ingredient to a championship team. Potvin was a major part of those 4 straight championships. You see what McCarr's doing in Colorado and how good they are. They've already won a championship with him. Niedermeyer.
Yep.
Maybe even more than Stevens, but Niedermeyer coming to the Devils when he was drafted, that was a difference maker, and that led to 3 Stanley Cups. Everybody can find a forward or a goaltender, but to find a special offensive defenseman, a responsible defenseman, a kid that doesn't panic when the puck's kind of between his skates and there's pressure on him and he's in his own zone in a 1-1 tie.
He's Leach.
And then calmly just spins and skates it out of the zone. Little things like that. That at 18, what is it going to be at 23? What is it going to be at 28?
When he gets man strength, too. Like, he's so skinny. Like, he's fast as hell, but that's what I keep saying is that we don't even know how good he's going to be, but the impact he can have, that's when you start, like, a whole room starts to believe, because you go, yo, like, this guy's, like, he's not just a really talented young player. This guy's special in many different ways, and that's what they've got. Yeah. And so it's exciting.
And in a lot of ways, Leach was probably the most important part of the 94. I know everybody talks about Mark Messier slaying the dragon and all that, but Leach was certainly the difference maker. So there's a lot of reasons to love Schaefer. There's a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-50 2.5S Select with all-wheel drive for $179 for 33 months, or buy with 0.9% APR financing for 72 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN 379853, MSRP $33,425, zero security deposit. APR $14.27 per month per $1,000 financed. Ends 2/2/26.
Felicia in Mississippi, as we know, is a big Islanders fan. She's calling in right now. Hi, Felicia.
Hello.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call.
Always.
You hit on quite a few of the points kind of I was going to make about Schaefer, and I'm eating my words. If you guys remember at the drive before we drafted him, I was hoping for Misa, and boy, am I glad that I was wrong. Schaefer has just, like you already said, he's just changed his team, and one player I've just noticed so much more from this season is Barzell, and I think that a lot of it is, we've known how talented Barzell is, but he's sometimes kind of lazy. And I think now with Schaefer, it's like, and of course, Law holding him accountable. But, I think with Schaefer, he's like, okay, I can't be lazy because this kid literally turned 18 during the season, was 17 when the season started, and is already playing, like a veteran, essentially. Right. And I know none of the trades we made, are blockbuster, but Susie and Pilata just kind of slotted in really nicely in these two games. I don't want to say going for it necessarily this year because I know this wasn't supposed to be the year, for us to make a run, but I really feel confident if we get, we're going to get in, of course. And if Sorokin keeps playing well, and I just feel like there really is a chance we can make a long run in the playoffs.
Well, the only thing
possible with that goaltending. Thank you, Felicia.
BK, we're gonna get in, of course. Let's just you got a nice 7-point cushion on the Devils. There's teams that are even a little closer. It's wide open, man. We've seen it. I've seen it all year because I've been following it clearly with what I do. All of a sudden, a team will lose like 5-6 in a row. Why? Boston couldn't get out of their own way. Now all of a sudden they won 9 of 10. So listen, they survived that 7-game road trip. They kept their head above water, which I think is really important. But you got to keep working. And there's such an unknown. I brought this up yesterday. What's this all going to look like when we come back from the Olympics? How are teams that had a lot of guys go? How are those guys going to get back into the mix? How are all the guys teams that didn't have a lot of guys go, that haven't played in a while together after taking 3 weeks off? Who's going to get off to a hot start, slow start? Some teams are going to be affected in a good way and some in a bad way. And there's still like 25 games after the Olympic break.
Yeah, quarter of a season.
Let's see what this all looks like. So I think they're a playoff team for sure, but you can't say anything's guaranteed right now. There's a lot of ups and downs in this hockey season, and it can all very easily go sideways. And when the Devils are 8-1, I'm thinking this team might win the President's Trophy, and now there's a very good chance they're not going to make the playoffs, right? So you never know.
When it's that close, all it takes is one little slump, and then now you find yourself having to fight your way up again. We love our conspiracy theories. Terrence on Long Island has one connecting the Jets, Giannis, and us. Go ahead, Terrence.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Good.
This is going to be a crazy one. If you guys want to buckle in for a ride, it'll be quick.
Let's see. Go ahead.
So, right now everybody's saying that the Jets are linking to the country. Right now, somebody out of the country with you guys is Peter.
Yes.
Peter, right now, out of the country for WWE. WWE's got big names. One of the big names right now is AJ Lee. AJ Lee from New Jersey. From New Jersey, we have the Devils. Talking about Devils and you guys is the one and only Don.
Right.
Don linked with the Devils through hockey. Hockey linked for somebody else on the show, right? Alan, that's you.
Yes.
Your kids play hockey.
Yes.
Now, Alan, what else are you linked with? The Knicks.
Right.
The Knicks have been in the news recently because of Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that's linking Alan, Don, and Peter. Now, Giannis' family just moved to Greece in October. How is Giannis going to go visit his family in Greece? On a jet. So the Jets right now are tanking to bring Giannis to New York for the Knicks.
Wow.
I think I cracked the code.
Just brought the whole
thing. Well, you cracked something.
Da
I think it was my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that probably sounded better on hold when he was like coming up with it.
You guys know.
I've heard of 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I never heard of 1,000 degrees of conspiracy.
No, that was 1,000 degrees, though.
There was a lot. There was a lot there, and yet very little.
Yeah, but it was an effort. But
there was an effort.
But it was an effort. But he brought us to.
Effort.
He did bring us to, though, something, Don.
Yeah.
That we haven't had a chance to discuss yet, and that is, the Knicks do play tonight. Speaking of Knicks, since he brought it up, they do play tonight against the Trailblazers. And then Sunday, which will be on NBC, an NBC vehicle on Sunday, is the Lakers coming into town for their one and only, of course, trip to New York.
Mm-hmm.
And that, of course, brings LeBron James in to the Garden. Now, they played in Cleveland. Now, they play in Washington tonight, so they play the Wizards. But their previous stop was in Cleveland, where they did a tribute. He got emotional. There was a lot of talk that he gave about the idea that is starting to kind of hit him, that maybe on this trip now to the East, where he only plays in some of these arenas once now, that he used to play all the time, that maybe the end is near. Listen to this that he said about visiting some of these arenas possibly for the last time.
Every road arena that I've been in, I think I talked about that. Just trying to take everything in, not take the moments for granted, because it could be. I obviously haven't made a decision on the future, but it very well could be. So, no matter if it's here or going to Washington, playing the next game, Garden, Barclay, on this trip. So, obviously it means a little bit more here for me personally because of, grew up 35 minutes south of here. But yeah.
So do we think that, by the way, the resale already is through the roof. The highest resale ticket for a game at the Garden, I think it was a Laker-Knick game since Kobe, since they knew it would be Kobe's last game.
Right.
So do we feel like, his contract's up. The Lakers seem like they want to move on with Luka. So do we feel like that Sunday could be the last time we see LeBron James in uniform playing at Madison Square Garden?
I wouldn't bet on it. I don't think he's going to go away, but he could. It's not that crazy of a thought, right, that he would retire. And why take the chance to see an iconic player play in an iconic venue? And that's what a lot of people aren't getting. Like, why? He never has any kind of real rivalry with the Knicks. It wasn't like Jordan returning to the Garden because they were rivals for a long time. It's just, how many iconic buildings are there left in North American sports?
Iconic buildings.
In hockey and in basketball, it's Madison Square Garden, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All the other buildings are brand new. The second oldest building in the NHL is the Saddle Dome in Calgary that opened in 1985.
Yeah.
What's the oldest building second oldest building in the NBA? What, Portland? The Target Center?
No, Minnesota.
That's 1990.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a 36-year-old building is the second oldest building. Now, I know they refurbished the Garden, but it still has the pinwheel roof.
Mm-hmm.
Still has the same address that it had on February 2nd, 1968. Baseball, Wrigley Field, Fenway Park, Dodger Stadium, because it's not Yankee Stadium anymore, it's a new building.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. Yeah, that used to be the thing at Yankee Stadium.
Football, what's Lambeau Field and Soldier Field. So when you have an iconic player that's going to end up in the top 2 to ever play, and he's going to play in the last iconic building, why wouldn't it be a thing? Well, that makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that people are like, oh, no, it's a big deal. And when he plays in Cleveland for the last time, kind of like Gretzky. One of the biggest moments for Gretzky was when he played in Ottawa.
Why
at
Ottawa?
The end of his career. Why? Because it was the last game he played in Canada.
Yeah.
So it had nothing to do with Ottawa or the building.
But
there was a connection. There's a connection. LeBron James, iconic player. Madison Square Garden, an iconic venue. And affluent fans who have a lot of disposable income.
Well, the average ticket price as of yesterday was $900 according to Game Time. And that, like I said, the most for an NBA regular season game since Kobe Bryant's farewell. So Kobe Bryant's last game, not his last game at the Garden, but his last game, that went for over $1,000 a pop.
And that was over a decade ago.
Yeah. Now, again, LeBron hasn't announced the retirement. He is wearing the patch.
He could.
And his contract's up. There's a lot of talk about the Lakers, not wanting to continue business with him. Could he play one more year in Cleveland? Would he want to? Would Cleveland want to? There's a lot to still decide. But let me ask you this, Don.
Yes.
Now, Cleveland did a whole tribute before the game, they did, like, when they introduced him in the starting lineup, they did the old, they shot a little highlight film, and they did a tribute. Now, he's never played for the Knicks. He has flirted with it, but never did. But he has always talked about the Garden, and he's always honored the Garden as an iconic venue. Should tonight, or should Sunday night, should the Knicks or should the Garden do some sort of, modest but recognize that this could be the last time tribute to LeBron, or no?
I don't think they have to. If they want to, okay, that seems to be the way modern sports are handled. Let's give the tribute video to the guy that was here for 5 minutes. But I would not criticize them if they didn't do it. I mean, he snubbed you back when he was a free agent.
Yep.
Like I said, it's not like Jordan. I know you wanted to have a rivalry with the Heat, but you really didn't. If they did it, I'd be like, all right, that's cool. That's pretty classy of them. If they didn't do it, I wouldn't bat an eye. I don't think they have to. I think they will.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have to. Do you think
maybe
they
not
have
at
to?
intros, maybe first time out, right? Show him on the bench, do a little video of his big moments at the Guard.
No.
See, the way I look at it is it's kind of weird. Here's LeBron kicking our ass for 20 years. Like, it's kind of strange, but
still,
he did have moments.
He's just an iconic player. And the reason I don't think they have to do it, Alan, is because I think the fans will do it. In the closing seconds, he's dribbling up the court. I would not be surprised if they gave him a standing ovation. And it wouldn't, for LeBron, wouldn't that mean more than a stupid tribute video during a commercial break?
Well, here's what I'm predicting. If the game is out of the way one way or another, he's on the floor with Bronny.
Yeah.
They'll take all the starters out, but not him. He'll stay out there so he and Bronny can be together on the floor because he'll want that. I think because he's posted photos of him in the past walking across the Knick logo, and he'll take that picture and he'll post it on his Instagram, and he'll do the whole crown emoji of New York. He's done that. He always will reference it, and he does always reference respectfully about the building, and he has said things like when Leon Rose took over the Knicks, somebody asked him what he thinks because Leon Rose used to be his agent, and he said the league is always better when the Knicks are good. So he has always been that much respectful. So it'll be interesting Sunday night for sure. But, Donnie, you have to catch a flight.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So we're going to release you now.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. And have a great weekend, and we'll talk on Monday.
You got it. Safe travels, my man.
Thanks, man.
So Don LaGreca off, of course, to catch a flight so he can get to the next game. But you are here with me, 800-919-3776. We were talking about the Knicks, and we haven't updated you on yet? Giannis Antetokounmpo. What's the latest? We've got it for you next. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start February 11th. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes while giving you a head start on 2026. Earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on most beds with base. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. We've got the Knicks home tonight at MSG. Tip-off still a couple of hours away. Might want to consider using mass transit. We've got some demonstrators gathered over at Foley Square. No word on when they're going to step off, but you definitely want to avoid the area of Lafayette and Worth and Lower Manhattan. Bumper-to-bumper ride at the Verrazano getting onto the Staten Island side. They picked up that snow removal on the expressway westbound over by Slauson Avenue. Damage is done. Delays there. Go back into Brooklyn. Only easy way to the outbound, George, southbound Deegan and Henry Hudson. Cross Bronx westbound, slam from the Bruckner on through. Inbound George about 5 to 10 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln Orany about 30 minutes. Outbound Hahn now close to an hour. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit MAD.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Han Solo.
Yes, just me. Peter's working. Don's got to get to work. I got to get to work at some point tonight, too, on MSG as the Knicks take on the Portland Trail Blazers. But I'm here with you. We have ENN coming up with Anthony Pusick at 6 o'clock. We have your calls at 800-919-3776. And there's only one line open. So if you want to get in, now's the time to do it. In the meantime, so let me catch you up with, of course, the story that we're going to be dealing with for the rest of this weekend through into next week, into the trade deadline in the NBA, which is Thursday. And that, of course, is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Watch 2026 is officially on. Whether it's traded by the trade deadline or traded in the offseason, feels like he's getting traded at some point. I have maintained all along, I believe this is an offseason trade. I still maintain my belief that I would say You want to do 51-49? I'm at that point now because I do think it is a possibility that he could be moved at the deadline. It's so difficult to do, though, that I still will say 51% of me believes it's still going to be an off-season deal. We shall see. But Brian Windhorst, who is a knower of ball, he was on with Michael Kay earlier this afternoon, and so he was asked, like, what are the chances that Giannis will be traded in season this year by the deadline?
I think it's 50-50, and I know that's an unsatisfying answer. The complication is this. It really behooves the Bucks to wait. And the reason it does is because this is such an important trade that if they were to wait until the spring, they would have so much more information about the market, and they would have potentially more stuff offered. And the reason why is this. They're going to tank the rest of the season. They're not going to announce that they're going to tank, but Giannis is going to be out for some period of time, and if they keep him, I'm not sure he plays again this season. And their pick needs to get as high as possible. They have this weird situation where they have to swap their pick, but their pick swap is with New Orleans, who's terrible in the top 3 right now. So there's a potential for them to have a top 6 or 7 pick in a very deep draft. Honestly, I don't think the percentage is high, but there's a chance they could have the number 2 pick in this draft. And if you're going to have a potentially very high pick, you would want to know that and where your pick is when you would make this Giannis trade. The second thing is you want to trade potentially for picks in this draft, and you'd like to know who's got what picks, and you wouldn't be able to necessarily know that until after the lottery in the spring.
All right, so Windy and I are pretty much in lockstep. He's going 50-50. I said 51-49. I've maintained all along that I just felt like this was never going to be an in-season type of trade. Difficult for the Bucks to get full value. Now they want to see, will one team just get stupid and maybe do something insane? Give somebody a chance to really be desperate to make a move. So you listen, you discuss. What you do before the deadline, I've heard this from a lot of general managers when I've talked to them about the trade deadline. A lot of things that are discussed that don't happen by the deadline are often revisited once you get to the offseason, especially draft night. Things that you feel like you got close on but couldn't quite make a deal, you always bookmark it and you come back to it in the offseason. So that's kind of maybe what you want to do if you're the Bucks. Remember, the reporting was that the only team they have talked to about a Giannis trade was the Knicks in last offseason, late in the year in August. So now they open it up to listening to a bunch of teams and see what kind of market can we get for him. I just don't know if there's a trade to be made that would be worthwhile now. And you heard Wendy say, the draft picks are the valuable part, but you want to know where they are, and that you'll know once the lottery happens. So we'll keep an eye on it for sure. But one thing we know, we thought, or at least the Knicks did have their own exclusive window last August, according to the reporting, and they could not come up with a trade. Now, there's a lot of reasons why. Did the Knicks not want to offer more? Did the Knicks not have enough to offer? Or did Giannis not get to the point where the Bucks said, hey, if you want to go to the Knicks, we're talking with them, but you have to say you want to go there. We're not going to say we wanted to trade you. And did Giannis say, I'm not saying that, because Giannis doesn't want to be the bad guy? There's a lot of little things going on there in that relationship. But when we once thought the Knicks were his favorite place, his prime destination, the only place he wanted to play, is that still true to today? Here's what Wendy said about that.
I think the Knicks are on his list. I don't know if I would say it's number 1. You know, the Knicks, I am a very, very big actions over words guy, okay? And the Knicks' actions are that they are lukewarm on Giannis. They had an opportunity to trade for him last summer, and the talks that they made, whatever their offer was, did not advance the talks. That, to me, was a team that, I think has some interest but is not all in. If you're going to win this bidding war, you got to be all in. You basically have to say to the Bucks, everybody is on the table except for Jalen Brunson. That's pretty much everything we have is on the table except for Jalen Brunson. Let's do a deal. That's what you're going to have to do to beat what I think like Miami and Minnesota and Golden State and maybe some teams we don't even know about are willing to do. And to my understanding, I don't think the Knicks have done that yet. So their actions to me do not, and look, we're not at the deadline, and maybe Giannis doesn't get traded and maybe it gets revisited in the summer. But from what I know, the Knicks are not acting like a team who's all out to get this player.
Yeah, and if they were, they would have gotten him in the summer, right? Like, that's what you got to believe, that would have happened if they were desperate for him. But there wasn't that desperation. It's what Don talked about that you don't need to be. Don has said that. Like, he doesn't think where the Knicks are right now, you need to be desperate. Some fans will argue, yes, they do. Others will argue, no, they don't. The way they played this season, there was a point in time about a month ago when they were in Las Vegas winning the NBA Cup where a lot of people said, you know what, leave this team alone. You don't need it. You have depth. You have a good team. If they can just stay healthy, they might be able to go on a run. But then what happened after the Cup was a stretch of games where they did not play well. They lost 9 out of 11 games in one stretch, fell out of second place for a while, and there were some concerns that maybe, you know what, this team needs more, that maybe they should go all in on Giannis, because now all of a sudden you're looking at teams in the NBA and you're not looking at the Knicks as a team that can contend as well as some others. So now the desperation ramps up again. But they've won 4 in a row. Did they get their legs under them? Who knows? But I think, as Windy said, actions always speak louder than words. What we do know is the Knicks would like to have Giannis. What we do know is the Knicks, as they were in the offseason, are also engaged in conversations with the Bucks about what it would take to trade for him. What we also know is the Knicks know they don't have nearly the amount of assets that the Bucks want in a trade. A lot of you will call in and say, well, just trade Towns. The salaries match up. You got to understand, you're making a trade of this magnitude. It can't be a 1-for-1 for a player that the Bucks don't really want. When you're trading a guy like Giannis, that's you signaling we're blowing it up. You're not trading somebody like Giannis for another high contract, high salary player who has a couple of years left on it and trying to build around them, especially someone, and no disrespect to Towns, he's not on the level of Giannis. Giannis is a perennial MVP candidate. Towns is a perennial All-NBA candidate, but he's not an MVP candidate year after year. So they're not the same. So you can't just act like the Bucks will just take your guy and be happy with it. It doesn't go like that. So you have to give the Bucks what they would want in a deal. And what they would want is more than likely to take a player that has value in a third team, such as OG Anunoby, for example, and they would flip him to a playoff team and then get picks or something else. You don't want to lose a guy like OG Anunoby. You don't. Not in the middle of a season. Not the way he plays, not how important he is. You don't want to move multiple players off this team for one player. That's the other thing you've got to be careful about. So while everybody feels like there's an urgency because he's a superstar, and I totally understand it, I keep saying to people when they ask me, I'm always like, it is Giannis, though. It's not a bum. This guy's good. But you also have to feel if you can't do something now or don't want to do something now, you can always revisit again in the offseason where you'll have a little more clarity about what you really do have on your roster and how much you believe in the roster you've built. Can it be a championship team? You'll learn more about your team if you give it a full season. So I'm curious to see if the Bucks, as Windy said, will listen, take notes, but tell Giannis, we got to do better than what we're being offered right now in season for you. You've got the calf injury. You've had it twice. We know you're miserable. We don't want to win a lot anymore. You're already going to be 4 to 6 weeks. How about we just shut it down? Just shut it down, and we'll revisit this in the offseason. This might piss him off, and I totally understand it. But if I'm a team acquiring him, that's 2 calf injuries. I probably won't be able to play you until March anyway. I would say, I'll trade for you in the summer. Why don't you get that right so it's no longer an issue? So you're not playing on it. Make sure your body's right, because when we do end up giving the house for you, that in October, we know you're ready to go to play at a super high level, that we don't have a lingering calf issue that we all know in the past can lead to something more catastrophic. Wouldn't that ruin any type of trade that you make? So this is an exciting story, and it's a headline story about a headline superstar player. And the Knicks are involved, which also makes it a big story. But just keep in mind that this could be a process that may not get done by next Thursday, but could certainly pick up by the time we get to June and the draft. So keep an eye on that. You want to talk about it with me? 800-919-3776. I got more calls to get to as well, and we'll do that before ENN at 6. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This Saturday on The Gary Myers Show, new Giants head coach John Harbaugh joins the show at 1 p.m. to talk about how he's going to turn around Big Blue. Gary will also preview Super Bowl 60 with Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. It's all this Saturday at noon with Gary Myers on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-50 2.5S Select with all-wheel drive for $179 for 33 months. Or buy with 0.9% APR financing for 72 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely, choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN379853 MSRP $33,425. Zero security deposit. APR $14.27 per month for $1,000 finance, ends 2/2/26.
It's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff. The final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite or riding with the underdog or maybe building one last endgame parlay, make it count, all right? Because after the Super Bowl, the season's over, and football will be officially done after this game. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. 21 and over, physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com for help with a gambling problem. Call 877-8-OPEN-WIRE. Text OPEN-WIRE 467-369.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Listen, I know the mentality. You try to play through pain and walk it off. Push through one more day. But when it comes to neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, that's a losing game. That's when you call Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain. Dr. Shaw is one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and he focuses on non-surgical solutions that get real results. No cuts, no downtime, no dependence on pain meds. He builds you a custom game plan for you so that you can move better, feel better, and live pain-free. Same day or next day appointments are available. Visit SandwellPain.com. Stop managing pain. Start beating it.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
Not all F words are bad. Some are actually great, like fast, free fiber for 4 months. Yep, switch to Optimum Fiber for as low as $25 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get 4 months free, HBO Max included for 1 year, and a 5-year price lock. Don't wait, this free fiber deal won't last long, and the fastest, most reliable, most consistent internet speeds await you. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/free today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app.
Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
Hey, you know what we have to do today, boys? I don't know, Jake, maybe you need to be ready here because we don't have anybody else to jump in and chime in on it, which is game time, which is brought to you by Tullamore Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time,
it's Tilly time.
We need to save that.
A lot happened there.
The Knicks host the Blazers tonight at MSG. Coverage following Dan Grassa on 880 at 7. The Knicks going for 5 straight wins if they get the dub tonight against the Blazers. The Nets, they visit the Jazz at 9:30, so we got some hoops tonight for you. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. How about we get some calls before ENN? Let's go to Tim in Connecticut. You've been waiting a long time, Tim. What do you got for us? It's been waiting so long, I think he fell asleep.
I feel for Tim.
Yeah, I do.
We didn't get to this story, which, I mean...
It's an interesting story.
It sounds like, I don't know if this is confirmed yet, but the Bridgeport Islanders are going to move up north. And that is, of course, the AHL affiliate of the New York Islanders.
Right. Used to be the Bridgeport Sound Tigers.
Oh, that's when I was interning for them.
Yep. And they play in that arena. That arena is not as new as it used to be, but like when I
Webster
remember,
Bank? They probably changed it by now.
Yeah, but it's been but that arena has had a hockey team in it since they built it many years ago, going back to what, like early 2000s, right? And it's pretty convenient to have your AHL team right there, like the Rangers have in Hartford.
Oh, it was very convenient.
But to have, that sounds like...
What, you mean the Syracuse Crunch being the Lightning affiliate wasn't the greatest?
I do remember those days. Well, I remember Manchester, New Hampshire was the Monarchs, and that was the LA Kings AHL team.
Oh, how about the Worcester Sharks?
What, yeah.
San Jose.
It's not like you can just call them up real quick.
Someone's got the flu. Well, you'll be down a man tonight.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's going to take, he's got to do a puddle jump through Omaha, but he'll get here in time for the third period. Let's go to Danny in Centerport. Hey, Danny.
Alan, my friend, I really wish I wasn't in lockstep with you. I got a couple of points, and I don't have to explain to you anything. You know the way I feel, man. I mean, I really wish I wasn't in lockstep with you, Alan, but I am. This form of dysfunction that we are in right now is the worst feeling and the worst we've been for the 50 years that I'm rooting for this team. And I'm not giving up, and I know you never will, but I can appreciate the way you feel, just like you're never going to get that burn back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, Alan, for me, as a Jet fan, Ranger fan, Met fan, and Knick fan, okay, my fandom is a disgrace. But for some reason, this is the team that runs through my veins like nothing else. I've never made a phone call to all the years I'm calling talk radio, never about anything but this Jet team. So it just goes through my veins for whatever reason.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Being with my dad as a 7-year-old walking into Shea Stadium, he was a cop, so back then cops meant something, and we got the royal treatment. We always sat in the best seats. We entered the best gates. We were treated like gold, and it's just in my blood, man. This is the worst, Alan, that I felt out of everything we've done. And Don said something the other day, and I called in, and he was 100% right. It's over with this. We need a football guy, Alan. You know what I'm saying? We have never had a football. We've had 3 in my lifetime. Walt Michaels, who was a football guy, and he brought us something. Bill Parcells, and we caught lightning in a bottle with Rex, right? Because he was a true football guy and a master motivator, and it just happened. We need that, Alan. And you know what's driving me crazy is that everybody's talking about what a short leash Glenn is on. If that's the way we're feeling, Alan, then get rid of him now. Because how in God's name do we think that this team is going to be relevant or even remotely close to being competent next year after everything we've done? Now he's got all new schemes, all new coaches. We have no idea who our quarterback's going to be, but we want to judge the man. So we're going to judge him on next year, which is going to be another disaster. How in God's name are we holding on? Just let him go now and end it. And bring in, you know what my thing would be, Alan? If I was the GM, this is what I would do. I would offer Tomlin a 1% or a 2% stake in the team, give him $30 million a year, and say, I'm out of your way, build me a champion. Because that's what we need. I would.
You know what, Danny?
McDermott, Alan. Give me him, and let's make this happen because it's a disaster, Alan.
Danny,
I can't believe it, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay, because I know you get real passionate about this stuff, man. But I here's your example. And because of what you said, when you're a franchise that's either brand new and trying to get its footing, or you're a wayward franchise that has lost its footing, lost its way, and needs to get back on track, what you said is exactly what you do. I'll tell you a story. So the Miami Heat, new franchise in the early 90s, and, as any new franchise, you're going to try to get some – through the draft, a couple of free agents, you try to put it together, but it's very difficult to do. And they weren't very good. They weren't. They were decent, but they weren't very good. They had like Ronnie Cycli. Remember him from Syracuse, all you Syracuse people? He was a good player, but it's like they were trying to build something around him. It wasn't hitting. And so what did Mickey Arison do? He saw the guy that could change everything. And that's Pat Riley. But Pat Riley was working for somebody else, the Knicks. So how's he going to get him? Well, he found out Pat Riley wasn't really thrilled with his contract and his situation with the Knicks, and went and broke a rule by talking to him. So he got caught with tampering, and they had to pay the fine. But what he did with Pat Riley is he said, "I want to get you out of New York. I know we have nothing to offer, but we do have beautiful weather. You're an LA guy, so you'll love it here. And I'm going to give you carte blanche, full control, and a piece of ownership." How do you say no to that? You can't. Woody Johnson will probably never do this, but it's exactly what he should do with Tomlin, with anybody else of that level. You come in and give me instant credibility, and I'm giving you control, and I'm staying the hell out of the way. And to entice it even more, because you know it's going to be tough at the beginning, I'm going to give you some ownership piece too. So when this thing really takes, you'll really make money, generational money. That's what you should do if you're Woody Johnson. But he'll never do it. And that's, of course, part of the problem. Coming up, an Anthony Pusick vehicle, ENN, next. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York. Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have an awesome weekend and a great rest of the night. Try and stay warm. Demonstrators on the move in Lower Manhattan. They left Foley Square. Knicks are home tonight over at MSG. This could make a mess of things in Midtown. Definitely want to stick with mass transit if you can. Lots of rolling closures and frozen zones. Brooklyn Bridge, as a result, not moving much, getting onto the city side. We've got Disney on Ice over at the Barclays in Brooklyn. Packed on the BQE in both directions, heading over to Atlantic Avenue. West westbound, especially tough. Your jam there. Delays go back into Queens. No easy way to the outbound Georgia, aside from the Henry Hudson. Second choice West Side Highway northbound. Some slowdowns there from the 70s. Inbound Georgia, about 15 to 20 for the upper deck. Some police department activity on the span. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 30 to 40. Outbound Helena cost you 45 plus. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
It is time now for ENN. It is brought to you by Ramsey Mazda, and it is presented by the lovely and talented Anthony Pusick.
Oh, thank you, Alan. Happy Friday. Oh, thank you, Peter. It's been a pleasure having Peter back. We haven't used that drop in a while. Yeah, I think so.
I'm just kidding.
I think it's been great.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. And let's start with our good evenings. Good evening to Don.
They're saying it with their silence.
All right. Thank you, Don. Appreciate that. Alan, I forgot to tell you this.
What?
We've heard about your Reaper powers and how powerful they are. I didn't know you were also, you could also look into the future. Because when you said...
Enjoy sushi.
It wasn't to tell Don to have a good time eating sushi.
Carson Sushi.
It was that Carson Sushi was going to be an Islander. So good for you. So now you can...
Enjoy sushi.
That you can enjoy sushi.
We did enjoy sushi last night with a nice goal.
Yeah, he had the nice goal. It had nothing
Notice
to do
I said we. How bad is it that I just said we?
It had nothing to do with Jonathan Quick, who has been great as a Ranger, finding, what is that, the 10th hole? Like, what was Valaket mentioned it in the intermission that, like, when you give up a goal like that, you just sink into the world like nothing matters.
He also made a save that hit the inside of his skate blade and somehow stayed out.
Listen,
so,
he has been great.
Yes.
He has struggled a bit this year, and
I
don't
will
think
not listen to any Jonathan Quick slander.
I love Quickie. Now.
I bet you did.
Not in 2012. I didn't love Quickie. He's great now.
Jacob, I'll need that, please. We'll need that one.
Oh, I'll have it.
That might need to be in.
I didn't put an article in there.
Drop Madness.
If there was an article in there, it would have been a bigger problem. How about this one from yesterday? Alan, you experienced this live, but we got to hear what it sounded like.
Come on, man.
Why? What? That was you.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that was you yesterday.
So I was so mad about the jet thing that I did crash out to a point. I think I kicked the plug out of the Comrex.
Why would you do
and I just went offline for a second. So you could see me on YouTube, and I think I probably was still talking for a minute.
It was really funny.
Yeah, I realized I wasn't there.
You went under the desk to go see what was kicked out.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, this should be good.
Yeah.
So I got to give credit to the guys last night. I believe it was Harvey.
Okay.
Apparently, I said this happened yesterday on the show.
And they wanted.
I don't know when that. I don't know when that happened.
We missed that.
I'm not sure when that happened.
Whose voice is that?
That's me, apparently. Allegedly.
Oh, do you
I don't
need
know.
the towel off? I did not know.
Allegedly.
And they wanted.
I'm trying
We
to
must
think.
have been talking hockey.
Either that or it was the realization of the Jets defensive coordinator situation.
Well, that was That again, that was one of the great ENNs of all time.
Well, listen.
And unfortunately, it's amazing that not everyone, like the two guys on the show, did not get to hear it live. And I don't know if they got it. Jake, do you think that Don and Peter had the same? Did they comprehend it the way the first time around how I did when Anthony dropped it on me, and I just looked at when you dropped those two cuts, and I heard it and then understood it immediately to be, wait a second, this is clown shoes. Like my mind was blown, and those two guys didn't react the same way. Would you agree?
I would say that you and Anthony,
We got it.
right after the conversation,
We figured it out.
right after we finished ENN, you guys were ready, sleeping on your backs,
That's right.
and excited about bringing this conversation back to
Then I
Don and
remember
Peter.
the Rangers were playing. That's all. That.
Yeah, that deflated
Unfortunately for
Anthony a little bit, but
deflated is the right word.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was so fired up, and you remember you went to the group. Even Anthony went to the group to say we did something on ENN that we're going to do again to start the show tomorrow, and I was so excited for it. We had our meeting. We talked about it. I said, Don, I'm not even going to tell you. Wait till you hear this. And I was so let down by their reaction. It was as if, like, it was a joke I found really funny and no one else found funny.
Don, I think that the way Don downplayed it is because Don's been right. Don knew. Like, Don knew. He said this has to be coming from somewhere else. There's no way Aaron Glenn didn't tell Wink Martindale that he wasn't going to call the plays until he was showing him his office. That didn't happen. Something must have happened.
Fellas,
This is a one quick Ottawa in and out.
If we learned anything, you have to undersell with this show. We oversell. We were supposed to make it look great, and then
It's this time
it fell
slot.
flat
We
on
do
its
that a
face.
lot in this time slot.
We just oversell?
Michael was the
oversell,
king of the oversell.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Give me an
Peter always.
example.
Well, not even that. It wasn't even that. It was that any tease Michael had, Peter downplayed. So then everything always seemed like it was less than, and it led to problems. It led to problems. Now's as good a time as any, because we have a lot going on. Of course,
we do.
Alan's going to leave us at 6:30. We are not done.
No.
Dan Grassa will take the baton and carry us to 7 o'clock when he is doing Knicks pregame.
Nice.
It's as good a time as any to talk about.
It's time.
There's a lot.
That was a moment.
But I think we do need another Tully time.
Remember when he did audio files? That was a different voice.
I do remember that.
It seemed like forever ago at this point.
Dan broke.
Did they
speaking
drop
of Dan,
since then?
He
That's
broke,
all I need to know.
He broke the gong.
Yes. he
Dan
did
broke
break
the gong. It sounded like he was Bart getting choked out by Homer Simpson once when he tried to do audio files. So we have that, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But what else do we have tonight, Alan?
there it is.
What the hell? He just broke the gong.
Bart was so upset. He was so upset.
So what do we have today?
Mm-hmm. I would think a Tully time.
Oh, okay. We could do that here.
Yeah.
Because Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Jake, another chance. Because when it's game time,
it's Tully time.
I like that one.
I like that one
That
a
is
lot
good one.
better.
I like that.
Knicks host the Blazers coming up soon here. That's where I'll be running off to at the end of ENN. Coverage follows Dan Grassa on 880 at 7. The Nets, they visit the Jazz. They're, of course, out in the Western Conference. 9:30 Eastern Time is their tip-off. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
And now we could start ENN at 6:07, the way it's meant to be.
Yeah, it's usually about right.
So what could be a celebration for the Seahawks next Sunday might also be a liquidation sale. Yes, the Seahawks will go up for sale after the Super Bowl.
Wow.
League and ownership sources familiar with the arrangement tell ESPN. ending years of questions about when the team would seek new ownership following the 2018 death of former owner Paul G. Allen. And I believe Seth Wickersham said they could set the record for an NFL team price.
How much?
$7 to $8 billion per arrival executive.
That sounds about right. And you consider coming out of a Super Bowl, that's probably as valuable as you're going to be. That building is great. The
Young
city's
coach.
great. The fan base is great. You have a coach. You have a quarterback. Like, what are your issues right now? That Paul Allen's sister, I think, has been overseeing the team, right? So it was going to be a matter of time, although she seemed like she really enjoyed owning the team. But obviously it's probably time to strike while you can. This would be definitely the time to sell. Yeah. I'd be interested to see who would step forward to buy it. Who'd be front line?
I'd be interested too.
Maybe Woody can buy them and sell the Jets.
Bezos? Seattle?
Yeah.
I think he's got enough money.
No, he definitely does. No,
I thought
interesting to see.
By the way, Alan, I thought we were done with firings. I thought we were all set for the NFL season.
We're not?
No.
What happened?
The Minnesota Vikings fired general manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah on Friday.
He was there for like a minute.
Now, keep in mind, I think he was only there for a couple of years.
4.
4.
Yeah.
That's a couple and a couple.
Yeah.
The interesting thing was I saw him yesterday in what I guess was his end-of-season press conference talking about the Sam Darnold situation.
Ooh.
And saying, to paraphrase him, there are some of those things that keep you up at night and you stare at the wall. And he said, looking back, do I regret it? No, we were happy with the process. Did it work out the way we expected? Not exactly. Well, day later, he's been fired.
Right.
Here's Minnesota owner Mark Wilf on the decision.
We held our end of the season organizational meetings over a couple of weeks and then spent this past week as an ownership group reviewing, discussing, and how best to move forward. This is a critical offseason. Ultimately, we felt a change was necessary in football operations and did not feel comfortable going forward into this offseason with the current leadership. It's not about any one decision or move. We looked at the situation cumulatively. We just didn't feel confident going through the entirety of the offseason, an additional draft, and free agency with this structure.
Now, what's curious about that, Alan, is there was a report out there that there was a disagreement on what to do at quarterback for the Vikings.
Right.
So they asked Mark Wilf, did the QB decision factor into this firing?
I'll just say it again. It's not necessarily a fair thing to talk about any one decision, and that's the way we approach it. It's a body of work. It's a cumulative set of decisions. It's 4 years of where we've been, and we as ownership, and I know our fans feel it, and our entire organization feels, we need to get to a better place. And this is strictly an ownership and organizational decision that we feel this is the best path going forward. It's not about one player, one decision, one draft pick. It's about organizationally what we can do the best for our organization and our fans.
I would venture to guess that if J.J. McCarthy does not vastly improve next season in a tough NFC North, there could be a possibility with a new GM that's going to come in that they might want to make a coaching change. And that would make Kevin O'Connell probably tops the list next year.
Why would they?
Any coach.
The only thing they've gotten right
is Kevin O'Connell.
Oh, no, honestly, it's the only thing they've gotten right. Like they had Sam. Now, again, they drafted McCarthy, and McCarthy won the job, if you remember, over, was it Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
As a rookie. And then
interesting name.
Then he had his injury going into the season. But, I think his answer was yes, it was about the quarterback. He just didn't want to say that.
Yeah.
But it had to be that. Like, they have to be looking, going, wait, well, we had this guy in-house, and you let him go. You didn't think he was the right guy, even though he won 13 games for us, and now we suck. And the young quarterback is clearly not ready. So we could have had Sam while the young quarterback continued to develop, but we didn't want to do that. Or we could have traded the young quarterback and had Sam, who's very much in his prime. But he won his 13 games, but we didn't want to do that. That's a mistake.
And now the question is, or I guess it's probably clear, the person that made that decision, made that determination, was most likely the general manager.
Of course it was.
So
yeah.
And look, Kevin O'Connell, I wouldn't say miracle worker, but these quarterback whisperers like Kyle Shanahan, I could fix you.
Yeah.
I could turn Mac Jones into a quarterback that's going to make $30, $40 million this offseason. Malik Willis can look very good under LaFleur in Green Bay. There's not that many guys like that. And it seems like J.J. McCarthy's going to take a little bit more magic or time, because as you said, Alan, he's young. It may not have been ready.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I thought that the Broncos were trending in an upward direction.
They're not?
Well, obviously Bo Nix had his ankle injury.
Yes.
Sean Payton talked about that ankle injury, and this kind of went under the radar. We had a lot going on. Let's hear from Sean Payton about that injury.
They always find a little bit more when they go in, and it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when.
So he's implying or saying Bo Nix was always going to hurt his ankle. Here's Bo Nix.
Nothing predisposed, nothing that was there originally. I might have gotten confused. Didn't have any predisposed issues. Man, my ankles were feeling really good. I don't think he really should share how many surgeries I've had in the past, to be honest with you, because he doesn't really even know that. But I think it's going to be good, to get back, get to work, start from ground zero, work from the bottom up, get back to training. And nothing really that concerns me, nothing that scares me going forward, like I'm injury prone or anything. This is one of those just inconvenient football plays.
Oh, boy.
He's
clearly not happy.
He's not happy. This, of course, have you seen the Joe Lombardi quotes since he was fired as OC of the Broncos?
No.
Lombardi said, you could tell he was in one of those moods where he felt like some changes needed to be made, and I guess he decided one of those was me. I've been around him long enough to kind of read the tea leaves. Sean Payton, as we've always known, a little prickly.
Oh, no. Very prickly.
A lot prickly.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say something else, but I'm glad you said
No, I don't get the latitude of Rick and Bart on this station. I need to be very careful with the words that I say.
I thought you had first-hand information you were sharing.
Absolutely not.
But that is the case. But it is interesting. They had a very successful season, and it seems like you've alienated your quarterback,
fired the OC,
and then fired the offensive coordinator,
and said, "Yeah, well, this ankle is always going to break."
By the way,
what?
Who needs an offensive coordinator? Huh? I'm just saying.
A lot of teams.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So that's another one that we'll have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, keep an eye on Denver. Yep.
Keep an eye on Denver. See if Sean Payton responds to either of these quotes.
Yeah, he can't help himself. I do think that he overspeaks, and remember that with when he made those stupid comments about Nathaniel Hackett, right?
Yeah, well, he said that, and remember what he said about, our guys will get a chance to rest for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right.
Up until
how'd that work out?
Hey, listen, he's not afraid, and he certainly usually has the stones to back it up.
Yep.
But sometimes it comes back to bite him. This might be one of those times.
He can coach. That's one thing you do know. He can coach.
Alan's been saying it all week. Say it with me, everybody. Pro Bowler, Shedeur Sanders. Say it with me, Alan. Yeah. Pro Bowler.
Shedeur Sanders.
Joe Flacco, yes.
Whoa,
Joe Flacco was named as an AFC quarterback in this year's Pro Bowl games.
How many is that for him now?
It's the first time in Flacco's 18 years. Yes, this is the time. They thought out of all the seasons of Joe Flacco, the Super Bowl season, all those seasons with this was the one. Joe Flacco will participate in the flag football game next Tuesday on ESPN. 41. He is an alternate ahead of the Pro Bowl competition.
You know what? That's another reason why the Jets should sign him. Signed a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Another Pro Bowl quarterback out of the AFC
Justin
North.
Fields was that bad. He was that bad.
I don't think he got asked. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm telling you.
Joe Flacco.
Weekend at Bernie's. Bernie, he'd be a Pro Bowler before, right? Before Justin Fields.
You do realize, and I think I mentioned this when we talked about with Sanders, getting a Pro Bowl makes you eligible for the Hall of Fame. Along with being either All-Pro or being a Pro Bowler. This is going to give the opportunity for a guy like Shedeur Sanders to be in the Hall of Fame.
Get Hall of Fame votes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Might get first ballot. Not like Bill Belichick. When do we start getting concerned about Drake May? That's the question, because
he's a little ill, right? He's under the weather.
Well, he's the illness, but also, of course, there was talk that he's managing a right shoulder injury that he sustained in the AFC Championship game this past Sunday. So ill, AC joint sprain, Seattle already favored. How concerned should we be? I'm going to say little until next week he's not practicing.
I don't know.
Illness now is better than illness next Friday.
First of all, what are you getting out of practice this week? What are you really doing?
Well, we're talking about practice.
I mean, we're talking practice, not a game.
Not a game.
Not a game.
Not a game.
Practice. Although next week practice is always dog and pony, right? Because now you have to go. You have to end up going to the city, and you got to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I also think at this point, it's a lot of film. You're resting up. if he's under the weather, you want to get him right.
Gotta look
Why
at the
would
tape.
you be running him through anything? If he's sick, like, by the way, there is stuff going around. There's virus going around, all kinds of crazy stuff happening. So, like, get him right. Don't have something that lingers. And, I mean, it's a week. You got plenty of time. I'm not worried about it at all.
Alan, can you remind me who the coach is of the Portland Trailblazers?
Tiago Splitter.
Tiago Splitter.
We just had that, and I figured it was worth
I
playing.
love that. Tiago and them boys.
That's the old Stephen A. First Take where somebody throws out a name and he can't complete a sentence without saying it over and over and over again.
Yeah, as if, how dare you bring up this name, Tiago Splitter. But he's
Kwame
actually
Brown.
done well there since the whole Chauncey Billups thing that nobody's talking about anymore.
That
and
went
Adam
away,
Silver's
didn't it?
happy. Real quiet.
Well, I mean, they're in the process of litigating it, but yes, it's gone quiet.
But no one's bringing it up anymore. It
Nobody's
really has gone away.
Yeah.
And Portland has actually played well under Splitter. So kudos to them. They're 2 games under 500, but for a team that doesn't have a ton of talent, they've actually had a good year.
So a game that the Knicks can't look over is what you're saying.
Better not.
Okay.
No, we can't anymore.
We haven't talked about this a lot on the show for multiple reasons. One, it would take us too long. So I'm going to do it now when we have 5 minutes left in the end. And two, it's so nuanced and there's so many layers to it that it's impossible to get to all of the pieces of it.
Okay.
I'm going to bring up the most recent instance of this, Alan, and I'd love to get your take because you've obviously played in college, and NIL has completely changed the landscape of college sports, but also this new thing that's been popping up specifically in basketball. Former UCLA standout Amari Bailey is attempting to become the first basketball player to return to college after playing in NBA games. He's 21 years old.
Yep.
And he's hired an agent and a lawyer to prepare to fight for NCAA eligibility with the hopes to join a college team and play one more season. He's a 6'3" guard. He played one season at UCLA, was one and done in 2022-23, entered the 23 NBA draft, was drafted by the Hornets in the second round, played 10 games for them in his rookie season on a two-way, spent 2 years in the G League, and was cut. He is now trying to get his quote-unquote senior season back and play in college basketball. What are your thoughts on this?
Technically, I still have eligibility.
Yeah, listen.
But no one wants me to play.
I thought that was part of the LIU thing. You're going to go back.
Right, exactly. Maybe that's why they're putting me in the Hall of Fame, so I can't come back. It's happening, and we've talked about it in hockey.
Yes, we have.
Where we've seen that, where AHL players, and the argument is I didn't make enough money as a pro that equals the amount of, I forget whatever it is, like a number of whether it's tuition.
But this guy played in NBA games.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If he didn't play in enough, I mean, how many games did he play in?
10? I think it was 10.
And what year?
2023.
Well, that's okay.
And then 2 years in the G, and then 2 years in the G League.
He can't win this. Now, you remember, James Nagy, we talked about him. He went to Baylor. He played in the G League. He played for the Knicks.
Yes.
In the Knicks Summer League.
Yes.
And they cleared him.
There's got to be some level.
But something that we've heard Tom Izzo talk about it. We've heard
Calipari's been.
Calipari always talks about it.
He's writing books about it.
Yeah, but we've also seen football coaches talking about it as well.
Yeah.
The NCAA right now has no spine, no backbone, no authority, no nothing. So right now the inmates are running the asylum. They are letting everything go. What's really funny though is Zach played one game his freshman year at UNH, and they won't give him that year back.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
So that they won't do. But if he went to go play for the.
But so I told him you're gonna go over to Helsinki. You're gonna play 1 year pro over there in Finland, and then you're gonna come back, and I guarantee you they'll get 3 years easy.
Probably just as cold there as it is here right now.
Well, who cares? But it just that's what blows my mind. Is that nothing seems to make sense, but it really is an obvious nod towards the fact that the NCAA has lost complete control of sports and how to govern it, especially the revenue sports, football, basketball, hockey at some level as well. You're seeing this. In a lot of the other sports, it's never going to be a factor. I'm waiting for baseball. There was a time where when you got out of high school, if you were drafted, you had two choices. You go play in college, or you sign your pro contract and go right into the minor league system. And it all depended on which way you wanted to go. But once you made a choice, you couldn't do either or. Right. What if now I signed to go pro, I ended up in single A, I can't get out of it, I'm stuck here, there's no room for me. Can I go back to college now? Can I say, well, I didn't make any money. I played grapefruit. I didn't play anything legit. I didn't make true money. Now we'll start seeing baseball players do the same thing.
This story.
And what about also players from the Dominican?
Yeah.
Who's to say that they might played pro since they were 16 years old, signed a pro contract at 16, but it didn't work out. I want to go to American college now.
Well, no announcer lineup because, of course, there are no games this weekend, but we will have the Super Bowl. Peter, who's playing in it?
Yeah, the Patriots, the Fakakta other team that I also don't care about.
Seattle.
Whoever you want to bet on.
We'll be breaking that down next week. That's ENN. That's it.
That's a perfect way to end ENN, brought to you by Ramsey Mazda. Get more for your money at Ramsey Mazda, like a new 2026 Mazda CX-50 or a Mazda CX-90. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. Dan Gross is going to take it from here all the way through to Knicks tip-off. I'll see you guys on MSG. Thanks again, boys. Have a good weekend.